I'll start by introducing stuff, and then we'll go into some of the minutia. So, welcome, Internet. This is a game for Jackercon, the Happy Jacks, occasional online game convention that pops up every couple of months or years. In this particular game, we are going to play The Final Girl. The Final Girl is a movie about slasher flicks and horror movies, a la, Nightmare on Elm Street, or even things like Aliens, where we have a lot of characters and some killer, whatever that is, and they're all going to die one by one until we have one final survivor, and we will see who that is. Other than that, we don't really know too much about what's going to happen yet. I will go through and let's introduce ourselves. Although, Andrew, are you there, Lokio? I see a phone that looks like it fell on its side or something.
Did he disappear on us?
Maybe he walked out of the room and the phone fell over. I don't know. Well, before we introduce ourselves, let's keep talking about what we want to do. So there's a big list that comes with the game of 52 random story seeds, and this is what I'm going to have us do. There's Lokio, kind of. That's his.
I think that's his default picture.
I will not share my screen. What I'm going to do is, like I did a second ago, I'm sharing a link in the chat, which is the same link. So that'll get you into the room. And we are each going to draw a card, and I will read to us what this story seed is for that card. And we can choose either to take one of those, or maybe we can do some kind of mashup and do something which has elements of a couple of them that we like, one or two of them. So let me first open up my little Final Girl book. Here it is. Oh, where's our random story seeds? Okay, and then
it's redirecting, but it doesn't redirect.
Oh, what, to the party? The roll for your party link?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It should.
Is it urgently romantic bonefish?
To, continue to the.
Oh yeah. If you copy and paste it, maybe do that. Maybe it looks like Google Hangouts is doing that redirect thing.
Okay, let's see. Oh no, I think I got there. You just have to click the link that says urgently romantic bonefish.
Got it. So you're in. Hold on, just a second.
Let me try. I'll roll a die and you tell me if you see it.
I'm going to do this thing. Hold on.
Yeah. Roll selected.
That's better. This is like horrorful, right?
Yeah. Oh, should I turn off my lights?
I don't know. I just have a lot of junk in the background. This way you don't see the junk, you see me.
I'll just use my one light. I can lower it.
Do it.
Ah, shit.
Horror movie style. All right. So what we're going to do is everyone who's got hopefully into that roll for your party room, what we can see in the bottom, like under all the buttons, if you have enough space there, is over on the right-hand side, it'll say playing cards left, and it says 52. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
So it's showing us that there's 52 cards left in the deck. And so what we're going to do is each of us will go to up on the top row where it has all the dice numbers and little empty boxes. There's a word that says cards, : and then there's a click on the red submit button. And what it should do is bring up a card. And when you see your card, like drag it over to an area, a corner. There's probably better ways to do this, but you can actually move the cards around if you want to.
I don't think I can.
Oh, you might not be able to, depending on browsers and other internet craziness. But
okay.
Do you know which card was yours?
I don't.
Okay. I know mine was the 8 of clubs.
Then mine is the other one.
Okay. Well, now
I
there's
only see two.
what's the one that you see?
I see the 3 of spades.
Okay, cool. Then
And
if
mine
you hit
is the King of Hearts.
awesome. And so if you hit refresh, you might see the other cards because it'll sometimes won't show the new ones until you refresh
Okay.
or
There
a
it
minute
is.
later.
Okay, and I want to draw one card.
Yes.
Okay, one. Submit. Oh, what did I get?
You got a token.
I don't want that.
Do the box after the card.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
intuitive at times.
Okay, I
All
am
right.
a 7.
All right, cool.
How do I
So let's
delete this?
read what these are. Cool. So I'm going to first read mine, which was the 8 of clubs. 8 of clubs says a group of young religious watchdogs ride into a town, but demons await them there. That sounds very much like another game. Like Dogs in the Vineyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then if we go to 3 of spade, that was yours, right, Paul? Let's see. 3 of spades says, a forgotten city is found, but in the years since it's been lost, its inhabitants have turned into mad mutants. Interesting. Then we have King of Hearts. That one was Hyros. A group of people are haunted by the ghosts of someone they wronged in their youth.
Sweet.
And then we've got 7 of clubs. That's yours, Kurt. A population of mice is stalked by a deadly cat.
Okay, well, that's my vote. I mean...
That's also very much another game.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And we're joined now by Andrew. Andrew, do you, I don't know if, well, so I have a question. Does any of those immediately call out to people? I know, Kurt, your opinion.
Urgently romantic bonefish.
That's the dice roller website.
So what is this? Okay. Interesting.
Game, you know Follow, the game Follow by Ben Robbins?
I do not.
It's a pretty rules-light story game. But we, the game we ended up playing was we were a bunch of, there was a human generation starship, right? That went into space and it's going hundreds, thousands of years, whatever. All the humans have died. We're the set of. Did I lose you guys for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it
cut out
for a second.
Okay. So we're mice in a generation starship, and then we basically are like mice that have mechs, like our little versions of mechs, and there's like a couple of giant cats that are still around that are kind of like our enemies. And that was kind of like the whole story. And we peppered it with other stuff. But like we could do something like that. We could do mice in a different fashion if we wanted to play like, Mouse Guard, but the final girl.
I'm okay with more traditional horror as well. It doesn't have to be mice.
I'm afraid that making us mice is gonna turn this into too cute of a game.
Maybe.
For a horror story.
I don't know. Have you seen Watership Down?
Oh yeah, right. That was pretty horrible.
So that's actually a great point, though. What you guys are bringing up is tone. Like, what tone do we want for this game? And I think it's good that we're all kind of on the same page, because like if 4 of us want like a dark horror game, and one of us is like, did I miss something? Is that the tone? No.
I have a tone story that relates back to a game that Kurt ran. But
I did it. Okay.
We'll get to it. So if 4 of us are like horror story and one of us is like, oh, I want to play some gonzo silliness, like that's not, we're all going to be like all over the map and not fun. So one of the things with the X card is not just that you can X out content that, is maybe uncomfortable, but also like if all 5 of us have agreed, hey, we want like a gritty horror story, and then one of us names a character like Fatty McFatface or something stupid, you can totally X that out and be like, no, I'm sorry, that just sounds like it's way too silly. I can't take that seriously. And I know we agreed to this tone. So that's fine too. Like, I just want to make sure like we're talking about something so we have like a good, fun story. So do people have opinions on tone?
Every game I run or play in generally skews a little more slapstick. I have no problems trying to keep serious, but I'm not a huge aficionado of horror, so I'm probably not going to take the lead when it comes to policing tone.
Okay. Let me go. I'll go through the list. So, Belle, what do you think?
I want to try to stick to horror. I don't think it should be like super gritty, because that also may be not much fun. But yeah, avoid goofy horror for the most part. But I think it also depends on what we choose, because if we're choosing demons, it's maybe one tone. If we're choosing mice, it's maybe another.
Okay. Hyro, do you have any strong opinions?
I never really watched that many horror movies growing up, so not really. I mean, I guess. What kind of genre were you going for?
Oh, so the final girl is almost not a choice. It is horror movies or suspense, because like people are going to die one by one, and there's a killer that's responsible for it. So, by the way, and I should have said this up front, that is the game we're playing. If you have a problem with like murder and people dying, then there's nothing really we can do about that. Like, you might just not want to play the game. I'm not saying you do, Hyro. I'm just saying that is the game we're playing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I generally have it, but not in game content.
Okay. Yeah, just in real life.
Right.
Hyro, so what? Do you have any other thoughts?
Yeah, no. I mean, I can do either. If we want to go more serious, that's cool. That's totally fine.
Okay. Kurt.
Well, I think Mouse is too silly. Even though I was super like, that's just hilarious. I love when random tables give you weird ass crap. So, but I agree that that's a little too silly. So, somewhere in the Scream level of slasher fic, right? Where it's not super gory. Like, I'm not super into body horror and that stuff, but like definitely a little more serious tone is good with me.
Yeah. Like, not to, like, I want to feel like there's danger of dying every moment, because that's kind of like what the game's about.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a suggestion then, and I'm on the same page as a lot of you. Like, I actually have found in the many times I've played this, if you do not have a tone conversation in the up front, then it usually devolves into a little bit of slapstick here and there. With there's some gory stuff or some scary stuff. But the few times that I've had a tone conversation in the front, like, we've had some fantastic stories when everybody's kind of on the same page. And you don't need to be a horror aficionado. You don't need to be a very important part of this game is it's a GM-less game. So all of us will be taking turns playing either the scene director, but oftentimes that is the killer. You will be playing the killer when it comes out in the scene. And the rest of us will be playing random sets of characters over the course of the game. So you will not play the same character over and over again. I have found it's very important in these kind of games where it's very open-ended and collaborative and whatever. Don't feel a lot of pressure like you have to do anything creative or very super interesting or funny or anything like that. Just play. Like, be obvious. If there's something like you're not sure what you should do, just do what sounds obvious to you. Don't feel like, oh, that's not creative enough or whatever. The fact that a bunch of us are playing together, we will have creative scenes and interesting stuff happen.
Yeah. Sometimes what's obvious to you, it's actually pretty creative to someone else.
Yes, I love the snowball effect, right? You just do something that you think is like, I don't know, this, and then somebody takes that and does something cool with it. So I am suggesting this. There are 2 cards that seem to kind of align in an interesting way. So one of them was a group of young religious watchdogs ride into a town, but a demon awaits them. And the other one was
The Lost City.
no, a group of people are haunted by a ghost of someone they wronged in the past. So maybe this demon that's waiting them is actually someone they've wronged and they don't realize it. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
But
So I have a thought. Can we
yeah.
combine like Mormon mission with what you did last summer? Like, is that I know what you did last summer plus like we're going to town and we're going door to door, ding dong. I don't know.
I
What
don't
do you
know
think?
what you did last summer. Is it super silly?
I know what you did last summer is actually kind of creepy for a teen horror. The premise is they run someone over with their car, and then on the anniversary of that, they start getting murdered.
Okay. I'm kind of cool with that.
Sure.
I have a question. Does anybody have an issue with the fact that these are Mormons?
Oh yeah, it could be anything. That doesn't have
Or
to be
like pseudo Mormons? Because
Yeah.
obviously we're
Book
kind
of
of
Mormon is probably my only reference to
Your
the actual
touchdown?
religion, so I don't want to speak on it.
No, it's okay. It can also be like a
basically
generic.
some kind of religious zealots of some
Yeah.
sort.
But are we saying that we want to like this to be said like in nowadays?
I don't
Instead
know.
of- okay.
I would prefer it.
To
Nowadays?
be said nowadays?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, like any time in the last like 10 to 15 years, I'm good. Once we start getting to like the 80s, the 70s, that's when I start losing cultural touchdowns.
Um,
I mean, we could also go further, right? It could be way, way, way in the future or way, way, way in the past.
Right.
I feel like future in particular starts getting it leads more sci-fi and less horror.
could I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Maybe we go this route where we have these missionaries who are out to convert and go to door to door, but it's not in their own country. Like they're traveling somewhere else. And we could choose any real or fake nation to do that. But modern day, right? So we can pretend like there are, and that kind of helps us get remote. One of the things that really helps with this game is, when the characters are put in a position where they're not easily able to contact the rest of society. So like having phones means, maybe you can take pictures and stuff, but if cell connections are bad or, you're someplace, where that's not easily done, then that helps.
All right.
What do you guys think?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely cool with that.
So if I reiterate, it sounds like we have a bunch of missionaries that are on their mission to go into some foreign country. They're in a town they've never been in, a bit of a remote town, and they're there to convert people. But who is the killer? And this is important that we very clearly, for all of us, define who the killer is. Like when you go see Aliens or you go see Nightmare on Elm Street, you're not like, who's killing these guys? It's Jason, right? It's Freddy. It's the alien, right? You know exactly who the killer is. This game, you know who the killer is. It's not a mystery here. So the question is, who is this killer?
It's this demon, right?
It
Demon
is.
that they have wronged in the past. Someone they have wronged in the past.
Do we think it's somebody who is like them originally, like somebody who was a human who is also a missionary that they've wronged, or is this like some otherworldly beast that they either summoned or cheated or something?
Well, I'm assuming it's if we are in another country, it's either someone who was like us sent on a missionary to where we are now, or we have been here before.
So, Belle, you were kind of attracted to that lost city thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So could we play it so that one of these missionaries, like Andrew was saying, one of these missionaries has come ahead of us to this place, but they have kind of unearthed this demon, right? Maybe they've been possessed by it and they've been turned into a demon, right? And now we're coming looking, I mean, part of it is, we know that one of the missionaries came here and didn't return. Maybe they failed in their mission. Who knows what the rumors are, right? But we're coming here to take on the mission. And, we don't know. We don't realize that there's this missionary of ours that has come before and has accidentally released this thing. Does that sound?
That sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Then there's still a little bit of ambiguity, like what does this demon look like? Does it look like our friend? Is our friend taken over by a thing, or is it a new thing? I'm okay if we do a little bit of like play to find out. Like basically whoever is the killer during that scene has control over that, and the rest of us can kind of work with it, and kind of develop it over the story. Is everybody else okay with that, or do you want a little more structure?
I'm
No,
completely
let's wait to
fine going
find
in
out.
blind.
Okay. There's two who are cool with it. What about you guys? Kurt, Hyro?
Same.
Yeah, I'm okay to play to find out.
All right, let's do this. So
I
Yeah,
actually
go
have to let my dog out real fast because he's losing
Do
his
it.
mind.
do it.
Can
don't
we
want
see the
dogs.
dog?
Yeah. Show us
Yeah,
the dog.
Show dog.
Someone type show dog.
That's the rule. Whenever you mention a pet, you have to show it.
Yes. It's funny because 2 nights ago, me and my wife showed our daughter, she's 9. We showed her Best in Show. We watched that movie. Oh my God.
That movie, oh,
Good.
it's so good.
I forgot how good it was. It's been like 10, 15 years since I've seen it, whenever.
Christopher Guest is one of my favorite directors. I also love like fake documentaries. So
Especially when they're done so well like that. When the cast of characters is just... Okay.
That's why I'm excited for what we do in the shadows too.
Oh my God.
yes. Also, there was rumors that they were gonna do a TV show.
I think that's what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, the what you do in the shadows too? I think is going to be aren't they going to do
The
the
werewolves.
werewolves? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Andrew, I just put a link in the chat, which is the spreadsheet. Do you have access to that? Are you on
Yes.
the phone or? Okay, cool. Are you on your computer now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So everybody has the spreadsheet link. If you jump in there, you'll see we've got our player names over on the left. Feel free to grab one of those colors and type your name in there. And the reason the colors will come up is when characters die, you get a point if you were the person controlling the character when they die, and that helps figure out who gets to save the epilogue at the end of the story. But you'll notice that there are 15 squares there, which are going to be our 15 characters. And there are 5 of us. Oh, you know what? That's kind of a lot. But you know what? I think we'll do some good killing stuff. We'll be fine. So 15 characters, and each of us will create 3 of those characters. So,
Okay, so each one of these boxes is a different character.
Correct. So you'll notice all the boxes say character name, and then there's a couple of things under it, right? Like they've got like 5 rows under it. So each of those is going to be a character. Now, what we're going to do, actually, let me see what would be easier. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? Sorry, I'm going to rearrange this just slightly. Hold on a second as I cut and paste some stuff. Okay. You should see that it's 3 rows across on the top and 5 rows down. And those 5 rows down, we're going to coordinate it so we are taking the row in the same order as our name on the left. So my name's at the top, right? And so that top row is mine. And then Andrew's next, so that second row is Andrew's, right? So find your row. And then what we're going to do is first, we're only going to create 1 character. Now, the way we create characters for the movie is we give it a name, and then we give it a description. And that description is like a couple of words, like the beefy jock, or, the whatever, the old widow, at the mansion or something, right? So you put whatever description you want there, but it should kind of fit in that box. It should be fairly short, right? And somewhat vague, but maybe flavorful or whatever, right? So it's kind of like the description you would expect the screenplay to have, right? Very short and evocative. Now we decided that we've got missionaries, but that doesn't mean all the characters have to be missionaries, right? They're going to a town, so some of the people are going to be townspeople. What I recommend is maybe for the first round, each of us will create one character. Maybe the first round, each of us will create a missionary that's coming over, like a new missionary. The second round, each of us will create a townsperson, right? Somebody who's already there. And then the last one, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? And then that way we know we'll have a good mix of some missionaries, some town people, and who knows what else. Does that sound good?
Cool.
All right.
Does anybody have any questions before we create our first character?
I'm good.
Good.
Okay. One thing I did forget to talk about is we talked about the X card, and Andrew, you already know how the X card works, right?
I'm good.
Cool. Another thing too is that there is an X card in the roll for your party window. So if you go you'll see if I hit the X card button, which I did, I can do something and send it out, and you'll see someone played the X card : spiders, right? So if I had a problem with spiders, it doesn't say who played it, so it's kind of like an anonymous X card. You can also just go like this, or you can say X. Oh wait, I got a problem with this thing. That's fine too. Also, the door is always open, so if something is really bothering you and you have to jump out of the game, whether that's to go to the bathroom or you're like, oh my god, I didn't know there would be a military suicide and that triggers me, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. I need to go cry in a corner. Just do what you got to do. We'll survive, and we'll figure it out. One other thing. Does anybody have any lines before we begin? Anything ahead of time you do not want in the game? And I'm gonna start and just say there will not be sexual violence in this game, right? That's something I don't want in my games. But does anybody else have something that they do not want in the game?
I'm gonna say animal abuse.
That's a common one. So no animal abuse. Anything else?
I'm going to go with violence against children.
Okay. So, and that's a good thing that we're bringing up now, because maybe we won't create a character, which is a child or a pet, because that can happen. And that just makes it easy. So we just kind of avoid that altogether, because any of these characters can be victims, right? We don't know who's going to survive here. Anybody else? Okay, no sexual violence, no animal cruelty, and no violence against children. All right, then with that said, go ahead and create your first character. And feel free to take your time. The first one will be a missionary, I think.
Oh, somebody was planning ahead. Let's see. So I'm the bottom row, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And should we have friendships, rivalries already, or is that something that's going to come up?
It is something that will come up.
All right.
So the only thing you have to do is name and description.
So how do you spell Whitaker?
Whitaker.
That's how this person spells it. That's the best part about names, is you can just decide to spell it weird and just be like, oh, that's how I spell it.
Oh wait, we made we made a very similar one.
Which one? I'm trying to see which.
You're a non-believer for a free ride, and I'm just here for the sights.
Oh, where's your description? Did you write it?
Oh, it didn't. Okay.
Oh, you have to.
I'm
Yeah, you have
gonna
to click
change
away.
it.
I've got another one too.
I mean, I'm fine with multiple number leaders.
Yeah, they can break
That's
off
what's up.
and talk crap about everyone else.
Okay.
Ooh.
If you think it'll work, I'll keep it.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna change
I
mine
mean,
a little bit.
We could also all just be here for the sites.
No one's actually.
That would be
Has
kinda
anybody
rad.
read this book? I don't.
Wait, this chapter says what?
Yeah, this guy in a blue smock at the airport said that I could come on a free flight. I don't know.
What do you mean I can't drink coffee?
Yeah, no, like that's the kind of thing that would happen in my games, which is why they're all farces and not serious horror movies.
I like undercover operative. Like, okay.
You gotta have a bit of comic relief in a horror movie.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
I
when
mean-
Kurt ran a Blades in the Dark game, I was on a whole different tone from everyone else in the game. And I threw out an idea that I'm
Is
sure
everyone
Kurt
okay with
would have
the
run
plucky
with,
virgin?
but no one else.
Yeah, but can Bailey be a male?
Sure.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, that's something we
What's-
should probably. We should
What's
probably.
lucky?
Bright, like positive, like
Oh, okay.
it'll
Like
all work
upbeat.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sort of a combination of dumb luck. It's sort of like that.
Combination of dumb and luck.
Dumb and lucky. Yeah. Plucky.
Cool. I put little pronouns at the end. I'm assuming like that way we could put like he, she,
Yeah.
or if anything else. But that way we can easily know what's like mine was Tran, and I'm like, oh, that could be a guy or a girl. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Bailey's the same way.
Yeah. But okay. Then cool. So I've got and these are not our characters. We don't own them. Like they're just the pool of characters. But I created Tran Murin. He is an undercover operative. Who did you do, Kurt? We'll just go down this.
I did Bailey
Row.
Whitaker, the plucky virgin.
And Hyro?
I created Luke Campbell, the uptight nag.
Bell?
I created Andrea Gibson. I'm just here for the sights.
And finally?
I created Carolina Smirch. She's the bright-eyed dreamer.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So now we should be ready to
man.
create our second character. Now, I think, in this case, we want to make these non-missionaries. These could be people. Now, we didn't really talk about what this town looks like, and what country it's in or anything. Do we want
need
to?
guides?
Yeah, that could be great. Maybe we're not even in the town yet. Like we could, like what do you guys think of this town? Are we talking about in a jungle? Is this in Eastern Europe up in the mountains? Is this like, the fake Wakanda type? Like, is this a fake country? Is this a real country? Like, what do you guys think?
I think it's like Tibet, like high mountain area, like very not a lot of civilization. It doesn't have to be specifically Tibet, but that style, like not a lot of civilization, maybe nomadic people.
Mountainous, like nebulously Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works for me. Okay. Then some kind of like mountainous area in the Himalayas, right? We don't even know what country it's a part of anymore.
Right.
It's just like somewhere out there. All right, cool. So we are now going to create 5 characters who are not missionaries. And that could be up in this village, wherever it is, or it could be people that are helping us get there or whatever. Again, name and description.
All right, I snagged Tenzin. That is the most common Tibetan name, which is also technically unisex, I found out. Let's see.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, there you go.
What's there you go.
I'm trying to find a traditional name from somebody in Bhutan, and my number one search on Wikipedia has given me a long line of people um, who I'm sure in the Bhutan language is a normal last name, but in English it is going to derail the tone.
Do you want? I have a list of Tibetan names right here. Like you
Or
know,
just-
like you do.
Then we all wait for a different mountain.
Do you
That's
want?
a pretty weird list to give handy. Like, oh, here's just a list of Tibetan names.
I was using Tibetan names for the like the standard naming convention for a game I was running, and so my notes are in this drawer right here, and I have a list of very many.
Okay, give me a short one.
A short Tibetan name, a male or female?
Female.
Oh, I also have Nigerian names here too. Hold on. Tashi, I think, is female.
There we go. I like it.
I like Lakpa. That's a good name. Dolkar is also good. If you're evil, I guess. or
I
Kunchak.
just noticed you have a Lilo and Stitch plushie.
Yes. Yeah, that's Scrump is back there. That's actually
That's nice.
my wife's Scrump in front of my Book of the Jedi. There. I don't know what happened to Stitch. I have a Stitch, and I don't know where I should put Stitch with Scrump.
I didn't know its name was Scrump.
Yeah, that's her. It's her little doll.
All right, so I've got. We'll go through the list again, and I'm going from me, whatever direction down here on the bar in Hangouts. Hopefully, it looks the same to you. I've got Durango Darling, which is the old Texan hippie bus driver.
Okay, that puts me next, right? I have Tenzin, the distrusting goat herder.
I got Anga Thapa, the wise Sherpa.
What's a Sherpa?
like a
Those
guide.
are the guides.
Oh, right.
And then Belle, you've got.
I have Tashi. I get the goods. So kind of like the person in the town that has a store, quote unquote store.
Nice.
I don't know if these are nomadic people, but she's in charge of commerce, I guess.
Awesome. And Andrew?
I'm an O'Malley, the retired Marine.
Nice. All right. Cool. And then we have one last row here. I'm going to say this is a free-for-all, so you can create whatever you want within the context of the setting. It could be another missionary, it could be someone else local, it could be just, as long as it's kind of like makes sense with the tone and the game, go for it. And part of the reason, by the way, for anybody who's either playing this or listening to this, the two people on the internet who are listening to this, the part of the reason why I think it works, and I don't know if the rules have it done this way, I definitely always play this way, is have everyone do one at a time and then share what those are and then move on. That way, because we already had an overlap in just one, in the first round. If you made 3 characters, the chance that one of us will make kind of the same thing is big. It also gives everybody a chance to hear the other ideas and then go okay, that's taken care of, but it gives me an idea for something else, or filling in those blank spaces.
Hey, Kurt, do you have that list handy?
Do you want a different name? Do you want a Tibetan name or one of these other ones?
I would love a Tibetan name.
I would love a Tibetan name. All right. Give me a letter.
H.
All right. We're going to just pick that out of the middle of a name because it... Oh, wait. No, there is one. Hando. Or Hondo? It's probably Hondo.
You grab me another one.
That's the only H name.
Just go with
All right. Let's see. I'll just grab one. Do you want something kind of weird or easy to pronounce?
Starts with a W.
W.
Very specific.
Wang Ye. Or Wotan. Woeten. Wotan. Or Woser.
Woeten?
Yeah, Woeten. Wotan.
Okay.
Or it might be like it might be pronounced differently, the OE sound in Tibetan. I don't know. But I read that as woe as in woe is me. 10. I have 10 woes.
Awesome.
I'm good to go.
Okay, so let's introduce our last characters. I will introduce mine first. It is Marianne Dupre, and she is a senior missionary that is somewhat superstitious.
Oh, geez. Yeah, Karen Willis is just the chaperone. Here to make sure everyone's safe.
Do we have to do that voice when we play her?
Of course. No, you don't have to do that.
The best part is seeing how everyone does not follow the accents
I love
between characters.
It'll only be when I'm Karen Willis.
Nice.
Don't you know?
Hyro?
And I have Bean says she was the high school teacher.
Nice.
I have Dolken. He is the butcher.
And finally,
And I have Wotan Nimina, a local who is a recent Catholic convert.
that's awesome. All right. Cool. So we have 15 characters in our story. Now, the way this will play out...
Just a point of clarification. We're still Mormon, right?
I think
Is that
we're
what we decided?
ambiguous missionaries. I think we're ambiguous religion. Like maybe
Yeah.
we
Okay.
just reference the Lord or something like that. I don't
That
know, what
sounds
do you-
perfect.
Okay.
The Lord and the good book,
Yes.
right?
So is the Catholic convert separate from this ambiguous religion, or is it supposed to be converted by us?
No, it is a different denomination. So if we're
Okay.
Protestant, he's Catholic. If we're Catholic, he's Protestant.
Okay, so whoever Wotan is a different. It's a different faction of religion than us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's not a recent convert to our religion. He's a recent convert
No.
to another religion. Awesome. That is perfect.
And he's not hostile to us because, yay, Jesus, but he's not exactly on our team.
I mean, we all.
He-
Everybody loves the Lord. Just back it down.
For variable definitions of Lord.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody loves the ambiguous Lord.
Yes.
I'm talking about the guy that lives up the street in the castle. What are you guys talking
Yeah. I send my tithe every fortnight. So what we're going to do is, and I think I'm going to follow the order that we have our names on the sheet as far as the order in which we're going to control scenes.
Cool.
So the way the game is played is it's got a couple of different phases, right? And the first phase, in fact, I should actually bust out my cheat sheet because whenever I try to go without the cheat sheet, then I will forget something probably relatively important. But the first part of the game is just an introduction of kind of our characters. Nobody's going to die in the first few scenes, in fact. We're going to have these introductory scenes, 3 of them. And in there, we just get to kind of freely role play. We get to see who's who. And part of what we're doing, to Andrew, to your question earlier, is we get to determine what those relationships are. So you'll notice on each of the characters' little character sheets, and in real life, if you played this, maybe you'd use like index cards
Ooh.
or something.
We just got a.
Are we joined by somebody else?
Oh, it's Hyro.
Oh, okay. Is that
There
you,
we
Hyro?
go.
Awesome. Yes. Welcome back. I recognize your face from earlier. What we're going to do is, like in real life, you'd play with index cards, but here they're just like very simple characters: name, description, and then there's 3 relationship types. Friendship, which means we could maybe try to help each other. There's a rivalry, which means we may try to interfere with the other person's survival, right? If we're a rival. And then there is the screwing relationship. Screwing could mean literally screwing, like we are having sex. We're in a relationship together. That's a physical relationship. It doesn't have to mean that. I think it's implied because a lot of the movies, play with that silliness. But screwing just means like we may like each other, but it may interfere with us. So really, screwing means you can help that person survive, or you can interfere and help that person die, right? So again, friendship, help. Rivalry is hinder, and screwing is help or hinder, right? And we get to determine what those relationships are. So when a scene goes through and we finish role-playing a scene, we're going to have a little talk, a meta talk as players, and go, what are the relationships in that scene? Well, it feels like my character and your character were friends. So we will put their names in each other's friendship thing, right? Or it feels like we were rivals, or it feels like, maybe we had this weird intimate moment. So maybe we'll put that under screwing. Again, it doesn't have to be that we were physically intimate, but you just kind of like fill these relationships in. Why they're important is they're going to determine in the long run whether or not characters survive or whatever, right? So and we'll see that in the long game. There's also something at the bottom which says stars, right?
Okay.
And stars, we'll see that later after the killer comes out. Stars, also help you survive, but we'll see that when we get there.
Okay.
Cool. Another thing I'm going to ask as we play the game is, when we actually get into scenes, if somebody's not in a scene, like let's say, Kurt is the scene framer or the killer, so he's setting the scene, and then the 3 of you are in that scene, but I'm not, I'm just like watching for this particular scene, aggressively mute your mic. So hit mute, listen in, but that way, like, there isn't background noise, or you don't, whatever, like that kind of thing. But otherwise, while you're in the scene, obviously, don't mute your mic.
Go to town.
All right. So, I have my cheat sheet up. Let me just double check. I haven't finished forgotten anything. So we'll do our 3 scenes, introductory scenes. Cool. And every other rule thing I'm going to bring up as we go, because it's kind of not important yet. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we begin?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good.
Because I know the game, I'm going to be the first director, right? And the director very often in this game is called the killer, because you will also play the killer. But in the introductory scenes, we won't see the killer yet. What I like to do is, and I've been having fun with this with some other groups recently, is let's go real quick between the 5 of us, and we'll go in order of our names in the sheet, right? So if you look in the sheet, it's me, Tomer, then we've got Andrew, Hyro, Bell, and Kurt, right? Those are the names in that order. So that's going to be the order of play that we're going to do as far as like moving the director seat, but it's also going to be the order we're going to do this thing. Our movie has started, right? And there's some music going on in the background. What I would like to do is let's each give like 1 or 2 sentences of, an order of what we see happening during like the credits rolling, right? This is that beginning part of the movie with some music, but like no actual, or maybe we see a character or 2, I don't know. But, and I'll start. So I don't even know if we know the title of this movie. Unless somebody's got a really cool title, we can wait until the end, because I think we might have a better title then. Okay. So I think we see a bus, and it's like an old yellow school bus. In fact, it looks like maybe we're in like the US or something, right? It even says school on the side of it, right? Like total from US, culture. But it's driving on this windy road up in the mountains, and we see it pass like you know, Tibetan style like temple ruins, right? On the side of the road. Then I will hand it off to the next person.
The bus pulls in to whatever sort of hostel or accommodations, and you see, the camera pulls back, and you see all of the missionaries getting off the bus, and it pans over the town, and you see their head out. Not they don't. They're not quite confused at what's going on, but they're curious. Next.
All of the
Like-
missionaries are stepping out from the bus one by one. You see them bring out their bags. Each one comes out. From there, the townsfolk, the head guy of the town approaches the missionaries to try to speak with them to see who the new recruits are, because at this point it's probably been a normal occurrence, so they just want to know who this fresh batch of missionaries will be.
All right. Suddenly, the wind starts to blow, and a supernatural shriek fills the air.
The young missionaries leap from their seats and look back towards the ruins that they passed. But the like Sherpa just goes, "Ah, happens all the time," and like walks into the building.
Nice. So that's our little like beginning credits of the movie. And so now I'm going to play the first director, right? And so I'm going to set the first scene. So the way I do that is I just kind of say what the scene looks like. I don't necessarily say who's going to be in the scene. And then what happens is we will go in order. And what I will do, sorry, is I will tell you how many characters are in the scene. Now, if you play with a smaller table, like four people total, usually you'll have a director and the other three people will always be in the scene. And that's, you just do that and you take turns. I found when you have a bigger table like this, there are times when maybe like, want it to be like a smaller intimate thing. Maybe only 2 characters are in there. Sometimes you play in a table with 7 people. You don't want 6 of them role playing all at the same time. Like it's better to like, have smaller scenes and we'll all kind of just take turns as it rotates around the table. So normally I'll be the director and maybe the next couple of people will be in the scene and it'll kind of like follow it around. So as we take turns, we'll say how many characters are in the scene. The easiest is just to say 4 characters, so the rest of you guys play characters. But if you want a smaller scene, you can limit the number of characters in that scene. I'm going to say this is a scene with, it can have 4 people. If, by the way, anybody's like, you know what, I just want to take a break, I'm not going to play in this scene, that's fine too, anytime. But I think...
I had a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
Scenes in chronological time order in the narrative, or are we jumping around?
Not necessarily. So feel free to do like flashbacks or other things. Like obviously, like don't do it just to be crazy if it confuses everybody. But like I trust us. But yeah,
Right.
it does not have to be chronological.
Cool.
Okay.
The thing is, though, I think that once the character is dead, it stays dead. So if there's going to be a flashback, it should be with people that are still alive.
I agree 100% with that. Yeah, once a character is off, they're off. Cool. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a good call. Okay, so I think we suddenly see, we moved from the bus, and it's just like, this scene is going to be in like a dining room, not like a fancy dining room. It just looks like a pretty bare, old style, like stone room. But, there's like a wooden table in the middle, maybe a couple of like 1 or 2 folding chairs, 1 or 2, like logs that people are sitting on, like an assortment of chairs. And there's going to be food served that's of the local, local food for these new people who have just arrived. So that's going to be the scene. And then, in order after me, so Andrew, Hyro, Bell, Kurt, go ahead and choose your character for this scene.
I think I am going to just play Carolina up front.
Okay. And I'm trying to figure out if there's a way we can easily mark this. Yes. Feel free to do this yourself or not. I think if you look at your name, you'll see like which colored box is yours. So you can also turn just the title, not the whole character sheet, but like the name, Carolina Smirch, turn it to like your color, right? Your green color. Okay, Hyro. Is that a pet, by the way?
The one that's making noise?
Yeah, because I think you mentioned there was a rule about, you mentioned a rule when there's a pet, you have to put a pet. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna show you my pet.
Oh my God, what a cutie.
I would bring in the pug, but then the lab would try to get in my lap.
Oh, she's totally about to start, trying to get on my lap. The first step is standing right next to me.
All right, so Hyro's chosen Luke Campbell, the uptight nag. Belle, who's yours?
I think I want to go for Marianne, the superstitious senior missionary.
Mm. Okay. Is Marianne, like, when you say senior, do you mean the most experienced, or is she an elderly person?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay. All right, we're gonna find out. Just realized I didn't put that on there. All right, so we have the bright-eyed dreamer, the uptight nag, and the superstitious. I'm gonna take the Sherpa. Where'd the Sherpa go? Can I take other people's that they've created?
You can take anybody.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
These characters are free for all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
I just picked mine because
Angathapa.
And there's the little, if you've used Excel before, yeah. All right, cool. So, so we see, like we hear kind of like some almost like silverware-y type sounds, or like, sounds of like plates or something on, maybe not even that, we'll see. But like, we hear some shuffling around and whatever, and this panning of like this kind of empty room, and then the table and these people sitting around it. I'm assuming we see Carolina, Luke, and Marianne there. So as the director, I basically say, let's roll, right? And we will start the scene. And as the director, and you guys will all have turns doing this, you also get to say cut when the scene is over. So it's kind of, just remember, it's kind of up to you to go like, maybe this is a good place, and then cut the scene so it doesn't just go and go and go. But I think that's all your responsibility until the killer comes out. So for now, we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, let's roll.
Okay, Carolina, Luke, welcome.
It's so good to be here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm so glad. I'm glad I'm finally here.
Glad
It's just
you're
such a
here. We need you.
wonderful opportunity.
It is. It is.
Where did y'all want these bags?
I mean, yeah, after that.
But you know what? I'm gonna leave them here. He just like sets down some bags and he heads back out the door.
Aren't you gonna eat with us? There's room at our table.
Carolina, the Sherpas eat among the Sherpas.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
Oh yeah, Carolina. I think you have so much to learn.
I mean, there's so many bags I
Yes,
still gotta
ma'am.
get. If you want to help with the bags, I guess.
Oh, I can help. I can help.
Great.
Carolina makes no effort to help with the bags.
Luke's right out the door. He goes straight for the bus. Starts hauling.
What's his name? Anga comes back in, done, carrying the last load, and goes over to get a glass of something that looks like milk. And he holds it up and he's, so everybody ready for that expedition tomorrow?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think I shot
I've
him
been
and Luke.
training.
Training, huh? What'd you do? Just like some Pilates or something?
Oh no, CrossFit.
Great. I mean, this kid over here I've never seen anybody carry bags that fast. He's gonna do fine.
Can that be a totally sarcastic comment where Luke is still getting the last bag from the bus?
He's still coming in. Yeah, that kid out there, he's gonna be fine tomorrow. Never seen anyone work quicker. Tell you.
Can we do this one thing where Luke's actually out there? You're hauling that this big bag, right? And we see again that kind of temple in the background, and you're all by yourself because the Sherpa's just he's quick, right? He's already gone, and we hear again a little bit of that keening sound that we heard before, right? Just before you turn to go back inside.
Can I also say that that last bag is absolutely Carolina's? The one that is way too large and way too heavy.
I think that's great.
Yeah, we'll just add on. As he hears the shriek, he's going to lift it up, and he hears a shriek, and it kind of throws him off balance. He just falls over with the bag.
Like a pair of heels topples out, and just kind of oh. You're just like, what? Heels in Tibet?
Gather the bag back up, drag it inside.
As you come in, Carolina is like, oh, Luke, I made a plate for you. I just wanted food. It's going so fast. Can't you just put that? Oh, that's my bag. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Yeah, no problem. He just drags the bag amongst the rest of the things and just leaves it alone. Probably goes over to the Sherpa. I don't know why, but he shakes his hand and then goes back and sits down with the rest of with everyone else.
Yeah. he like after you shake his hand, he's like looks at you funny, and then he sort of like gives you a little bow. Yeah, you go get some water or something. Did you I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, miss. He looks at
It's
Mariana.
up to me.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I kind of figured that she's been there longer.
So she's already been here.
Yeah, she's been here before they
Okay.
arrived, so I think we already know each other.
Okay, so I back that up, and he comes over and sort of leans in, and he goes, "Strange bunch you got this time. You'd think they're gonna be all right?"
Well, you never know. I suggest you kids have a good rest. Days are long here, and the nights are even longer.
Oh, I love
Wow,
that.
that's awfully ominous.
Yeah, I think the scene cuts right there, unless somebody's got something they want to put in there.
No, I love it. That's good.
And definitely, like right after Carolina says, "That sounds awfully ominous," like literally. Cool. So that's what a scene can look like, right? And you'll notice that, the game as it's described, you can, if you've played these kind of story, indie, whatever games, you can kind of do whatever works for your table. I often find that the director or the killer can add flavor to the scene, but you're not the GM either. So you don't need to feel like people don't need to look to me as the director to say what is or isn't true. You guys define whatever's happening, right? But sometimes you might want to throw something in as the director or the killer, like background noise or other stuff. Go for it. So that's one of the introductory scenes. We're going to do 2 more of those. So next in line is Andrew. Now, before we move scenes, everyone jump back to your character and change the background color back to whatever the gray is. What is it? Oh, it's oh man, it's the 4th one from the top right. Yeah. So whatever. Okay. So yeah. Andrew, it's yours. And again, you frame the scene however wherever you think it should be. If you ever, for any of you, if you ever feel like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do, I have this idea, you can feel free to like ask us. You don't feel like you have to be responsible. But and then once you set the scene, we'll tell us how many characters you want in the scene.
Wait, should we do relationships for that last scene?
Thank you. Yes. I almost forgot. We should have done that before we erased all those things, but it doesn't really matter.
I remember who I was.
Yeah. So, does anybody feel like there was a relationship that was established during the scene?
I think that Mariana and Aga are screwing.
That's great.
Okay.
I 100% agree.
So, Anga. So, Kurt is Anga. Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's yeah.
Then both of you in your character write the other person's name. And you can have more than one relationship with people. So although you're screwing Anga, right, or Anga's screwing Marianne, Anga could also be screwing someone else, right? So these could be comma-separated lists of people, right? But okay, anybody else?
Is Hyro talking? I can't hear him.
Oh.
I aggressively mute my mic all the time. But no, I was talking to myself. I was wondering if Luke would have anything with either Anga or Carolina. I think friendship towards Anga, because he semi heard that compliment as he was stumbling in.
I mean,
compliment.
Does Luke not understand sarcasm? Because if so, then yeah.
I don't think he does. I'm really starting to think he doesn't. Like he's taking everything at face value. This whole trip is because he doesn't understand the sarcasm yet.
Now relationships have to be both ways. So if Luke thinks he's a friend with Anga, it has to be reciprocal.
Okay.
Does Anga feel like, and you can disagree. You might be like, nah, Anga thinks he's like a dipshit and no. Or you could be like, yeah, maybe Anga like thinks, well, that was cool. He helped. Nobody else does, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else helps. I'm also looking right here where it says uptight nag, and that doesn't fit with Wise Sherpa, but do relationships change later? Or
Absolutely. They can
okay.
change at the end of any scene.
Okay, so I think friendship now, and then if he gets
Cool.
uptight naggy, then it goes away.
So you guys do that thing. And anybody else?
What about Carolina and Luke? Is our friendship there?
I mean, I think that's just how Carolina is. I think there is a baseline friendship that's probably there, but
So, are you screwing? And not in the sense that you're physically screwing, but like, are you using him to get what you want?
I don't think so.
I mean, there was like setting up a plate. There was like the carrying her bag in. So there's kind of like this ambiguous stuff. I agree that you can always play it as like, but you could also like
that could have
I
been
think it would work
anybody.
either way. So what do you think, Luke?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that one.
So do you guys just want to leave it then?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So first of all, props to Belle. Thank you for keeping me on point. Sounds like you know the game is better than I do. And now we'll move to the next scene, which is Andrew being the scene framer, and then tell us how many characters.
I'm gonna say 4, and I think jumping all the way to the next morning is a little too far. So I'm gonna say that after dinner, everyone has started getting ready to go to bed. And either like people are neighbors, maybe there's like one bathroom. So everyone's kind of like hanging out in the hallway, chatting about the expedition tomorrow.
All right, and we'll go in order. So again, Hyro, Belle, Kurt, me, like after the scene framer. Go ahead and choose your character.
I think I'm going to go with Durango Darling.
I'm gonna go with Bailey Whittaker, the Plucky Virgin.
Yeah. Kurt.
Let's see. Okay, so we got a plucky virgin. We got an old Texan hippie. I think we need. I think we need the recent Catholic convert.
Nice. And I'm going to, and the recent Catholic convert is a local.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go for Tran. Let's get Tran in there. Someone we haven't seen. All right. So let us, and so once we've chosen our characters, then as the director, Andrew, just tell us if you want us to just start the scene or if you want to reframe any particular thing. But you've given us like, what you did is perfect. You've given us enough for us to know where we are and just go for it. But if you want to do anything else, you can.
I think the camera's on someone who's not in the scene, like brushing their teeth in the mirror, and like it follows them out of the bathroom, and then it like tilts over, and there are just people there. That's where I'm gonna jump out.
All right.
I'm gonna come in and I have this baby goat on me, and I say, I found this in my room.
You probably shouldn't keep that.
No, why
It-
not?
It will eat all your clothings.
Well,
You don't
I
want it
don't
in your
need
room.
those.
You don't want it.
What should I do with it?
I can take it to the stable, but it's not my goat, so
I
I
think we
don't
see
know.
Tran walk out of one of the rooms, and he's got, a towel around his shoulder, and like the toiletries and whatever, and surprised to see all these people in the hallway, and then surprised to see the goat, and he's like, "What is it? Is that dinner?"
This goat is far too small to eat. No, there are bigger goats if you want them to eat.
I thought that's what they call the mutton, the veal.
We
The
are not
veal.
that cruel here. We do not put babies in boxes and eat them for... No.
Kind of shrugs. He actually just sits there, like he doesn't go to the bathroom where the sink is. He's just like watching all of you and just starts brushing his teeth in the hallway.
So, tell me again how this is different. So, your lord comes before the baby, and the other ones sends the baby? Tell me again what is different?
Well, our Lord is sometimes a baby and sometimes a Lord. I think. And I look at Tran.
Tran just looks at you and is like, and like spits, and he's got like a little cup or something, spits in it, and he's like, yeah, something like that.
So it is the baby, but also the man.
Yes. And there's a lot of talk in our church of what came first, the baby or the man? But
In my
it's one of
experience,
those
it's always the
questions,
baby.
Well, that's debatable. Where should I put this then?
The goat. He looks around. I mean, you know what? Keep it, but hang up your clothings high.
Okay, I will. And I go very happy to my room.
He turns to Tran. Do they always want to keep the goats?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the baby comes before the man, sometimes after the man. It's all up in the air.
I mean, I was so sure of everything like a week ago.
That's your mistake.
It's all so confusing.
That's how they keep you on their toes.
I will go read the good book more.
Honestly, my friend, I don't think that's going to help you.
Wait, no, but it's so much helpings in the book. That's what the last people said. That the book would help with everything in my life. All I have to do is read this book and everything will be better. You're telling me this is wrong all of this sudden?
He takes like a big sigh and he goes, "No, you're right. All the answers are in there. Just keep looking. You'll find them." And he just like walks over to the bathroom. I mean, the door's still open, but sink running and whatever.
Okay.
And he just kind of shouts back like, "You'll find them. Just keep looking."
Okay. And he looks over at Durango and he's like, "These foreigners are very strange. Do you want to go smoke some weed and feel better about it?"
Oh, honey, I was hoping you'd be asking me far long ago for that. Let's do it.
Okay. I'll read
And
the
that's gonna
book
be the
later.
scene.
And he shoves it in his back pocket. Yeah.
I like that they walk out and Tran kind of like, you see him look out the hallway like, wait, what? What just happened? All right, cool. End of scene.
End of scene.
All right, so relationships.
I definitely think that that Wotan and Durango are friends.
At the very least, smoking buddies.
Are you okay with that relationship?
Yeah.
Unless you're smoking rivals.
Right. Is Puff Puff pass? Why you never pass?
I feel like that's a different game.
How strong do we think the disagreement was between Bailey and Wotan?
About the goat?
Yeah, not about the goats. I meant about the babies and
The Babies and Men, and which
and
one came
then
before?
I think he's a rival with Tran because of the veal comment.
that sounds great. Yeah, I think there was like this subtle, yeah. No, that sounds great.
I don't think that Bailey could be a rival to anybody, really. He's too sweet. But he could have a
We'll find a
friendship
way.
with Walton because he let him keep the goat.
What do you think, Wotan?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right,
I think Wotan's a friendly guy.
cool. So put friendship for those two, and then do we have anything we haven't done?
I don't know, man. I don't know this game.
Well, and Durango and Wotan, we want to make them friends, not screwing, right?
Did I
think
put
so.
screwing?
Right.
No, I'm just
Oh,
asking.
you mean are Durango and Wotan screwing?
Yeah, and again, it doesn't mean necessarily that they're having a physical relationship, but that they're, the relationship is close enough and ambiguous enough where they can both help and or sabotage the other person.
I mean, old Texan hippie bus driver. I didn't catch that it was a she. And not that they couldn't be gay. That's not what I meant. But that like I was picturing like the bus driver from The Simpsons or something.
That, but female.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Durango?
I think they're just smoking buddies right now. Like that's all they do. She transports people back and forth, and he's just some enlightened guy that's trying to find even more enlightening.
Maybe he's always curious about the new religions. Like maybe a lot of missionaries come here, and so there's always a new religion every week. So he's a convert for whatever left. That's the convert he is.
Right.
That's great.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds great. Yeah, no, I'll definitely keep following this.
Yeah. What were the commandments? I don't know. They're different in everyone. I've got like 30 now. I'm keeping them. I've got a vision board with commandments. It's gonna be great. I think Friends is good.
All right, cool. So we wrap that one up. Next is going to be Hyro. So Hyro, you're going to be the director of this last introduction scene. And then we're going to have the next scene, which is called First Blood.
And I
Oh
get
my
to
God,
be the
Rambo's gonna
killer.
show up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Right. So I'm thinking 4 characters. It's gonna open up in the mess hall, but not as everyone has started to eat, but like as everyone is finishing up. People are putting up the plates, and they're all getting ready to head out and go knock on doors. Go.
Nice.
Okay. I'll go with Andrea Gibson. How that goes.
Well, we haven't had Karen Willis yet, don't you know?
Wait, who's Karen Willis?
The chaperone.
Oh, the chaperone. Wait, then who's? Oh, sorry, I got Karen and Marianne confused. Tell me.
Oh, am I next? Oh,
Yeah.
I am next. Sorry. Sorry, who did you choose, Kurt?
Karen Willis.
Karen Willis. Okay.
Sorry. The kid just called me. Was at the pool.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay. I am Karen Willis.
I think we're going to have. Yeah, I'll be Carolina Smirsch.
I think I'm gonna pick up Tran.
Now, we did not choose any locals.
Right.
Which is fine.
Well, we're knocking on doors today.
We're knocking on doors, which is fine. Cool. And you already said go, Hyro, but is there anything else you want to establish before we start?
So I think Karen is giving probably. So since Marianne isn't in the scene, she's letting everyone know what the itinerary is for today. We're gonna, this is a routine thing that we're gonna do. We're gonna get on the bus, and Durango's gonna take us into. Gonna introduce you guys, or Karen's gonna introduce you guys to the locals, to some of the important people that you've got to know, and we're gonna spread the good word. Okay, so make sure that don't forget to have your buddy with you. We're gonna use the buddy system. Make sure no one gets lost, and let's have a blessed day.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And so I think like maybe what we can do is on the bus ride, the four of us can establish like a little bit, and then we're kind of like on the street or something.
Sure.
Like we just had the speech. So I think Carolina is on the bus and she's like looking around, like kind of like sitting next to somebody, and then kind of like jumping over to, like, if they're not looking at her, jumping over to the next person. So maybe like skips a couple of these NPCs in the back. And I think she sits right next to Tran, and she looks over at Tran and is
he smiles warmly at her, and his shirt is a little too tight for serious missionary work. But like he kind of like moves his arm over to like make some room for her, and ends up just like putting it behind the seat, all casually. Like, oh, that's not my accent. Were we gonna be together, knocking on doors, spreading the word?
well, I haven't found a partner yet, and
go on.
well, what were you gonna say?
No. After what happened on the last mission, people don't tend to want to be my partner.
What happened?
So we were in Colombia, and he like sits up and straightens up, and well, there was an accident. We were talking to this guy. We were at his house, and there were some barking dogs, and my partner Emily, I mean, she was really scared of dogs, and so I went to chase them away. When I came back, Emily, she was gone. We couldn't find her. And everyone says, Tran, why weren't you looking for her? Why did you leave? Why? And and he just kind of like trails off.
And I think she looks, waiting to hear something, and then her eyes kind of like furrow, and she slowly like gets up and walks over to Andrea and sits down next to her. And she kind of like takes her arm in her arm, and she's like, do you have a partner?
Oh, you're still muted.
Yeah. Well, I sure have one now. How do you feel about lakes?
Like water?
Yes.
I I, I like water.
Perfect. We're buddies.
She kind of like looks over at Tran for a second, almost like longingly, like maybe I should go back to Tran. But then she's like, no.
He's already
Yeah.
just reading his Bible and he's like tagging in passages and be like, yeah, Matthew verse 21.
I think Karen walks over to Tran and she goes, "Do you not have a partner again?"
I, I don't know why, Karen. Just people are scared of me.
I think you just like being my partner. And she like tucks her arm under you and she says, "Come on, let's go spread the good word."
Sure do, Karen.
See them
All right,
shuffle off
boys
the
and
bus.
girls. Does everybody remember your speech?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been memorizing it all night.
Excellent. All right. So, eyes bright, chin out, book held high. Let's save some souls today. What do we say?
Oh, shit,
God.
I forgot my book.
Oh, don't
What?
worry. I have spares. No, I came prepared.
Oh. Tran, you are such a lovely boy.
Oh, you're so sweet. And he's gonna pull out a backpack from like the overhead storage, and it's like this backpack is just like the backup books. He's like got like 24 in them. And like the camera hangs on it a little too closely, and like the one that the bombs used, and like the pages are kind of all fucked up. And like he quickly like brushes that aside and pulls out a book and walks back. And then lingers a little too closely to Carolina before heading back to his seat.
She looks over at her like when he does, she kind of like turns her shoulder, like cold shoulders him a little bit, and maybe like nestles up to Andrea just a little bit closer, and is
I
like,
grab the book and like just put it on this on the seat next to me. Thank you.
All right.
I think that's it, right?
Sounds like a good place to cut.
Yeah.
cool.
Speaking of good places to cut, next scene, First Blood.
Yes, to cut. I see what you did there. All right, so
Hey.
relationships. I don't know. Carolina and Andrea, are they friends?
No, I think Andrea is screwing mostly.
Then let's do screwing between them, because I think it's one of those where, yeah, like it can kind of go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who else do we have? Tran. What relationships does?
I think he's like really doesn't want to show it, but I think he's friends with Karen.
I was going to say screwing, but I'll take friends.
I mean, I was also thinking screwing and thinking actually screwing,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to.
100%.
Okay, yeah.
Because,
All right.
yeah.
1,000.
Because that's her dirty little secret, right?
Oh, I'm glad we're on the same page here, Kurt.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's friendship. We need screwing.
Yeah.
Tran Murrin. Such a good boy.
Do we have any other
Yes.
relationships?
I think that Karen and it was who's the girl who was the cold shoulder? Who did you play, Tomer?
Carolina.
I think Karen and Carolina are rivals. Because I think Carolina is the new Karen. Like she's the younger model.
Oh, I like that. And so maybe there was like some subtle, dirty looks, especially when I was sitting next to Tran.
Right.
And
like
he was
Karen
kind of playing it
Karen
cool.
was Carolina when she was younger, and now she's not.
So what we didn't see is like some of those looks going on in the background as all that was playing out, right?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds awesome. Beautiful. All right, any others? All right. Now Belle is up, and it is time for First Blood. Okay, so how does this part work? So First Blood is kind of like our scenes, and from now on, there's no longer a director. Now you play the killer, right? So not only do you set the scene, you also come in as the killer when you want during the scene to wreak havoc, right? The way you wreak havoc is kind of up to you a little bit. Uh-oh. Okay. And then, so we've got, um,
So my computer froze, and I caught none of that.
oh, no worries. So from now on, the director is the killer. That's all. So Belle is going to play the first killer, and her scene is going to be special because it's called First Blood. It's going to be a little bit different than the rest of the scenes. Normally, in the rest of the game, normally one or more people die in each scene. However, in First Blood, everybody in the scene dies, right? And not just that, we are not allowed to choose the people with the most relationships. So the people you have to choose in this scene as a player are people who have the fewest relationships, right? They're the ones that are going to get axed because obviously we don't care about them. Otherwise,
we don't know anything about
them. That's right. So yeah, we can already see some of them. Now, I actually see there's 5 people with no relationships at all, I think. And there's going to be 4 of us. So, you pick 4 of those 5. Somebody without a relationship will get by. But that's
Does
how
it
that
have to be? There has to be 4 characters in the scene?
There does not. So you, as the scene framer, you're going to get to tell us how many people are in the scene. So it could be up to 4.
I was gonna go with 2.
Sure, go for it. And I'm going to say, because we're already we're 2 hours in-ish from the start time. And by the way, does anybody have a hard limit when they can play until? It's 10 o'clock my time, but do you have another 1 hour or another 2 hours?
My hard limit is 1 o'clock your time, so
okay.
I don't think we're going to go 3 hours.
Does anybody have a problem going 2 more hours?
I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Should be fine.
Okay, cool. So because we have.
Wait, do you want like more characters so we can get rid of them faster?
Yes and no. I'm actually gonna. So what I was gonna say is, whenever we have a bigger table, and I really mean 5 or more, because when you only have 4 characters or less, you have 12. 4 players, you have 12 characters. Is the recommended ish amount. But when you have 5, sometimes you play with 10. In this case, we played with 15. So that's a lot of characters. We don't have to kill them during First Blood. What we do is we use something called the Carnage rules, right? So instead of 1 or more people dying each scene, everybody but 1 person dies in each scene.
Okay.
And so as we continue the game, we will have a lot of deaths. So you can totally still do a scene with 2 if you want. We'll get through them pretty quickly.
Okay. So yeah, I want to keep it like intimate. So I'll go with 2. And this is, well, why don't you choose characters first so I know how to set the scene?
That sounds interesting. And so these 2 should be like the next 2. So that's going to be Kurt and then me.
Okay.
Now, one other thing I'm going to say is that for those people who are not in a scene, and this might not work as well here in online world because, to talk means to interrupt, although we do have a chat window right over here. So feel free to go in there.
And it pops up in the video.
Yeah, so you get like little pop-ups of the words. So oftentimes when I play with large tables, the people who are not in the scene, you kind of play the spectators in the movie theater. So, if you have comments and things like that, that could be fun. But anyways, Kurt, go ahead.
Oh, I get to pick first. Okay. All right.
Don't open the door.
We have the retired.
You.
What are you screaming? I didn't hear that. What?
He's behind you. Don't open the door.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we have a high school teacher, retired Marine. Who else doesn't have any?
The butcher.
The
I get the
butcher and
good,
I got the goods. Oh, and the
distrusting goat herder.
distrusting goat herder. Do we want him to die yet? I kind of
Oh,
want
because
him
we
to
already
be
introduced
later.
goats.
Then
Let's.
don't,
You know
don't
what?
choose them.
Yeah.
Let's kill the high school teacher and or the marine. I'll pick
right.
one of those.
Who pick one?
I'll take the marine.
Okay. I'm totally down to take the high school teacher. I kind of like that these are two foreigners that are going out first, because then the audience gets suspicious.
The marine is dying.
All right. What's the scene?
I think that they are in their house, and they know that there's a new group of missionaries about to come knock on their doors. And for some reason, they're very, very nervous about that. So go.
Listen, Benza. Look, I got a weird feeling. I ain't had this feeling in going on 30 years now, but
Ooh, that's a long time.
yeah, it is. But
Is it like painful?
no, it's like a ache, right?
Oh, painful.
But it ain't in your body. It's in your soul. I could feel it. Last time I felt it was Nam, and man, my whole unit died that day, but somehow I made it out. And
I know. You always say this in your sleep.
yeah. But here's he lost 20 years. But listen, if things don't go, if something happens today, I just want you to know that I love you.
Yes, I know. We've been married a long time.
Yeah, but you're not like, you're not like sitting in the. It's like a heavy moment.
She literally, like, she's sitting, and she's like, "I am sitting." What do you mean?
I think it's a language problem. You know, Benza?
I have been teaching English for 30 years. You always say it's a language problem.
All right. I'm gonna go make some coffee.
I think that as he's getting up to make coffee, you can hear the knocks on the door. At first, like, there's two set of knocks, but then suddenly it's so loud that the entire house starts shaking.
So,
and they won't stop.
I have a question for you. So in this, and this is a question for Belle specifically, who's playing the killer, do you want to make an attack?
I guess.
Yes, you're the killer. So the way this works is that, and in the actual game, you would have a deck of cards. We don't have the deck right here, but the killer at this point would deal cards to the players in the scene when they want to make an attack, right? And we'll talk about how they decide who they're attacking in a second. So what you and I, Kurt, are going to do is we're going to jump into that roll for your party room.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little checkbox underneath the safety tools line, which says enable hidden draws. You see it?
Okay, under the enable hidden draws. Got it.
Check that box.
Okay.
Then we're going to have to choose. Oh, sorry. I forgot this is first blood. First blood, there's no cards. We're just going to die.
We just die, man.
So
I'm sorry,
it's kind of,
Benza?
sorry. So it's up to Belle. Whenever you want to kill somebody, just kill somebody. But basically you're saying, like, the house is shaking, the door has been knocked on, but it's still on its hinges, or what?
Yes. But it's like going like this, like boom, boom. This is obviously not a human knocking.
I think this is when Benza's like, oh, that kind of feeling.
damn it, Benza, where's my service revolver? And he like goes over and like jumps into a cupboard and starts pulling stuff out, and there's like cans of coffee fall into the ground, and he digs this old revolver. Actually no, it's if it was Nam, it would have been a Glock, right? So he pulls this old 9mm out of it, and he checks the slide, and he, damn it, and then he like runs to another cupboard, and he's digging trying to find the bullets. Benza, where'd you put the bullets?
She's like, we don't need those. I just threw them out. I thought they were expired.
We need the bullets. Do not expire, Benza. That is not how they work.
She's just shaking her head.
So I think he runs into the living room to like grab Benza's hand, and like head upstairs. Oh, it's got to be upstairs, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we head upstairs.
Those are the horror movie rules.
Yeah.
So what's upstairs? Are you going to like your bedroom?
Well, what do you think, Benza? What's upstairs?
Yeah, I think so. I think we go up there and we see, and it's like, I mean, this is a tiny little 1-room house on the bottom, and then the upstairs is like the 1-room bedroom with like, a little bathroom thing, right? Mm-hmm. So we just go up the stairs and like you're already in the room. There's no like doorway or anything, right?
Could you maybe get in the bedroom and nervously start praying?
Oh, yeah. I think that's cool. I think Benza like runs over to the side of the bed, and there's like a little simple table with just one book on it, right? The book. And she grabs it to her chest, and she gets on her knees next to the bed, and you just see her, like silently mumbling stuff.
And I think you get this shot over my shoulder, over Simon's shoulder of Benza, and you see his shoulders like tensed, and you see them just like fall in resignation, and he walks over and kneels with Benza and begins to pray.
And I think go ahead. I was gonna say one thing, like she takes, like she, as soon as he's there, she takes his hand in hers, and you see her mumble, this is stronger than bullets.
Okay. At that point, the house starts shaking, and as you're there, like in prayer, you can hear the door open and steps coming into the house and up the stairs.
And she's not turning. She just starts mumbling more and closing her eyes tighter, right?
So we see this shot of Benza like that, and then we see a hand being placed on her shoulder, and then the hand like grabs her chin and her like top of her head, kind of like patting a little bit, and then as we see a shot from outside the room, you can hear this loud sound of a neck cracking.
Nice. That's awesome. Do we see what the hands look like? Do they look like human hands or what?
They look like burnt. Like not like after they've healed, but like burning.
Awesome.
That's like awesome. When paper burns.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the end of the scene?
That's the end of the scene, yeah.
Okay. So our 2 characters have died. So what we do here now is we want to mark that these were ours, that they were in our possession when they died. Kurt. So I'm going to highlight like, I don't want this to get confusing as far as characters. There a lighter version of description. Yeah, I wonder if that's gonna. You know what? Let's just put him back to gray.
Uh-oh.
What's a good dead color?
I think you erased our colors.
Oh no! What happened? I didn't do that, did I? All the colors.
Oh, everything is yellow.
Can we undo?
I tried. Undo. Oh, there.
One more.
Wait, redo some relationships, and then hold on. Oh, how about that? Did we lose any relationships? I think that's right.
I think the last relationship that got entered was the rivalry with Carolina. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, why don't we select the entire character and choose like a fairly dark color? There. Do you see what I did with Binsa?
Okay.
Mhm.
So she's dead, and then what I'll do is just next to Binsa's name, I'm just gonna put my name. So that way we knew it was mine when she died. Does that work?
You could also like make the box black and then change the text to your color.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of cool. That's like pro shit. Bam. Love it.
All right.
That looks cool.
So it's very apparent that they're dead.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's still readable.
Yes. All right. Awesome. No, that totally works. Cool. Thank you, Belle, for taking us through First Blood. So from here until the end of the story, the rest of the scenes are called standard scenes with carnage rules. So I'll explain that. So now our next killer is going to be Kurt. You're going to be the director of the scene. You're going to set a scene, tell us how many people are in it. And when we get to the killing part, instead of you just automatically killing, basically you tell us, one of the things that sometimes happens is sometimes the person who's the killer like does a lot of GMing. You might want to try to avoid like, and we want to avoid as the players like looking to you to say like, oh, I go here, what happens? Like, we're still like free role playing, so we can kind of determine what happens. But when you want the killer to strike, you tell us, and you can tell us kind of a little bit of what we see, and then say the killer strikes. But don't tell us exactly what happens yet, because we don't know if the killer is going to win. So now it's a card game, and we will see if the killer wins or doesn't win.
Okay.
Right.
And
I'll
the scene
explain
is done
how
when
you
one's
choose.
left.
What was that?
Oh, I was just asking.
Yeah.
And then the scene is done when one person is left.
The scene is done when one person is left. So.
Poor Binsa.
And from now on, we can choose any characters. It doesn't matter how many relationships they have. It was only in First Blood that we chose the least interesting ones in the story.
Okay, so I get to pick how many people and set the scene, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we cut to about maybe it's like that was yesterday, or we cut to like several hours later, and
Okay.
the missionaries are walking up to the door that we just saw in that last scene to knock on the door. They go in pairs, so I want to say that there's two in this scene. But I don't want to drag it out. So maybe...
Oh, it could be a quick scene.
Yeah, that's true. It might be. Because, well, especially if there's only one person's going to live, so I only have to kill one person. So let's do two. And then it's going to be Tomer and Andrew. So pick your missionaries, I guess. Or whoever you want to be. But
Okay. Are we following standard horror movie tropes?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to.
Whatever's interesting to you. Maybe a trope was interesting, or subverting the trope is interesting.
Because I mean,
That is the right answer.
yes.
We're a straight up horror movie, then the virgin's gotta live. But
Well, unless they have sex.
don't worry,
There
I'm
you
working on it.
In which case they died during.
Tomer, do you have a character?
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, technically, we already subverted the trope that if you pray, you live.
Well, Wotan has it right. We're just not praying to the right religion.
Yeah.
Man is not saved by faith alone, my man. It is only through faith and good works.
According to, that depends on your book.
No, this Protestant Mormonism nonsense. No.
Okay.
My Catholic education is.
Mine is non-existent, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm gonna be oh man. Yeah, let's go with Andrea.
Andrea? Okay.
Only because I kind of don't want her to die, so the stakes are high.
I'm gonna be Marianne.
All right.
All right, Marianne and Andrea.
All right. And this is just in front of just some rando house.
No, I thought it was the house.
It's
the
house from the previous scene, but your characters obviously don't know that.
Right. I mean, if Andrea and Marianne are together, it seems kind of like an interesting combo, right? Like Marianne does not, like Andrea is not here to do this stuff, right?
And I feel like Karen knows that. And so Marianne is trying to convert not only the people of this town, but also Andrea.
Right. So we kind of see them walking toward this house, and Andrea's just like maybe walking a step or two behind Marianne, and just kind of like rolling her eyes quite a bit at whatever she's saying, looking longingly. Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Finish your exposition.
Yeah, she just like, she just kind of stops and looks longingly over at, like, there's one of those tourist cafes, it's like a Wi-Fi cafe that's obviously like all bohemian, and there's like some handsome looking travelers, like boys and girls that have their backpacks, and the like white dude with dreadlocks or whatever, and he's not wearing a shirt, and he's all like handsome, and like she's kind of like looking over, like wants to be there, and then realizes she can't.
So, like, as a Corlex is not making it out of the scene. He's also first blood. No. You have your book, you have the script. Well, I'll let you take lead on this first house.
Okay. And
you're gonna do great. I believe in you. But know,
I'm sure you do,
that these people's souls are on the line. This is in your hands. God has given us.
Okay, I get it. And she like walks up and starts knocking on the door, just to like shut up Marianne.
So
Marianne is not paying attention right now. Oh, go for it.
When she goes to knock on the door, it goes and sort of opens slightly.
And Marianne is like looking at that same cafe, but instead of like, oh, I want to be there, it's like, you're distracting me from my work. Don't you missionaries? And like by the time she snaps her head back, she doesn't see Andrea.
I think, Andrea would have been like, the door opens a little bit, and she probably looks back, and we see Marianne distracted, right? And she kind of like creeps in a little bit, and just walks in to the darkness.
And Marianne is going to very quickly, like, she sees the open door and hurries along, and she's just like Columbia all over. She pulls out a rosary
And maybe she bumps into Andrea, because I think Andrea's just like walked right in the front door, but hasn't gone very far, right?
I'm bustling into the darkness.
And I
just,
think
like,
Andrea kind of like
running.
freaks out, right? Like you run in and hit me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Yes, that's why we're here. I'm waving my arms, looking for some sort of light, and I find a switch, and I turn it on, and I flip out. What looks to be nothing. Like there's no ring down here, but like there's something, be it like a footprint askew or like a picture frame tilted. Something triggers my superstition,
And I'm
and
like,
I grab
what?
onto your hand and be like, "This house isn't right." And I start going through the rosary. I'm just like, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. So Lord.
A big sigh, and like Jesus, you scared the shit out of me. Like, it's just an abandoned house.
Slam! The door closes.
And like the holy book goes flying, right?
Yeah, I grab Andrea by the hand, and I'm running to the back of the house, see if there's a back way out.
I think Andrea like throws the book up in the air like in fright, and it like literally lands in, whatever the big cooking pot is that's been left on the stove, right, or the little like whatever area.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear that like gloop, like it's like a stew or something, and we just see that book just kind of like in there and just sinking into the muck.
Can I edit that a bit?
Yeah.
So it lands open, and it's open to a page, and the camera zooms in on a chapter, and it says, "Then I heard a voice from heaven say, 'Write this: Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes,' says the Spirit, 'they will rest from their labor, and their deeds will follow them.'"
But that does still fall in the pot.
13.
So like we zoom in,
open,
and then we just see it like
it
sinking.
So
Yeah.
so I think the whatever the stew is like maybe it's like a blood pudding or something. So it's like bubbling and it's like boiling blood color.
It turns redder and redder.
Yeah.
And so
And we
I'm
don't
gonna
see that, but like we rush past this pot.
right. Looking for a door or whatever. Now
Um,
I'm gonna ask Kurt, are you attacking or just still playing it to scene?
I think I'm still playing the scene. I think something that's going to happen though is Andrea's definitely, or one of you is definitely going to trip over that gun.
Oh, I love that. Would you like to?
I
trip,
think
or shall I?
there's no. So I pull you up to the stairs because there might be like a window or something up there because the door's obviously locked.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think we don't find a back door, right? You're like, maybe we can go get out up there.
A window. There was a window up there, and I feel like I'm pulling you, and you trip.
All right. Was it left on the stairs? Maybe like we're going up the
Yeah,
stairs.
like towards
and,
the stairs.
On it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I feel like at this point I don't turn around for you.
Right.
I'm up those stairs.
But I trip and like land on the stairs. You keep going, and I look back to see what I tripped over, and we see this pistol like on the ground.
So I think we get that over the shoulder shot of like you looking up. Damn it! Like what's that? And you see this pistol, and then we cut upstairs, and Mariana is like already run upstairs, and the two bodies are there in their praying position, but their heads are looking the wrong direction.
And I scream, "Ah!" And I drop the rosary, and it just shatters on the floor, and the beads are rolling around this floor. And I start taking steps backwards, and I fall down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm definitely attacking.
All right. Andrew's like, I'm gonna do the work for you.
Yeah,
I'm attacking myself.
Do it.
It's awesome though. All right, so we're gonna jump over. Oh, okay. hold on just one second. Let me just take one little screen grab. I'm going to try to make this a little easier for us. And let's see how this works. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just setting up an image, final girl, and I want to put it in the background of our role for our party thing. Let me see how this works. I usually, a URL. Oh, come on. God damn it. I could have been a little bit better prepared. Oh, do we need to take a break, by the way? This might be a perfect time because we can take a short bio and I can get this prepared.
I could be down for a bio.
This is like the most complex mechanical part of the game.
Okay.
So let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll be back.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, everybody look at the roll for your party window.
Mm-hmm.
Refresh it.
Yes, refresh it.
Whoa!
Oh, look, we got stuff.
So there's some names across there, and then there's also there should be like 2 hidden cards, right? Like you don't see the suit or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them should be under my name, and one should be under Kurt. So one under Tomer and one under Kurt.
Correct.
Now that might not be the case depending on how wide your window is, your browser window.
It's close.
No, it's nowhere close for me, but that's fine.
Right. So try to minimize the width of your window and see if you can get those 2 cards to go under my name and Kurt's name. So like right now I'm using half of what is this, a 1900 whatever normal monitor thing.
Is there a reason it's Kurt and not me?
Yeah, I'm just because we were on the endpoints, so I'm just trying to measure this out.
Okay.
These are just temporary for testing purposes. Was everybody able to get that? Do the 2 cards go under Tomer and Kurt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think then we should be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete these 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think, hold on, delete them. I'm going to, and right now it says 50 cards left. I'm going to shuffle the discards. And I don't know that there's a way to do this with hidden cards in this tool. I mean, yeah, I should have tested it, and I thought I did, and Roll20, and I know, bad GM. But yeah, whatever. So how many cards do you draw? It depends on your character. Look at your character. You will always get 1 card minimum, but you will also get 1 card for each relationship that you have. So Andrea gets 1 card for being Andrea and 1 card for having a screwing relationship with Carolina, right? Even if that person is not in the scene. So that's 2 cards that I get. Marianne also gets 2 cards, right? Because she's screwing Anga, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew, go ahead and put 2 cards, just like I'm doing 2 cards, and then hit submit, right? And then once you do that, drag those 2 cards under your name.
Cards 2, where's submit?
The red button.
Big red button.
Yeah.
There we go.
Not the green button, which you would have expected.
And are these face up or face down?
I think
they're face
they
up
come
to
up.
me.
They're face up.
Yeah, unlike traditional horror movies.
Oh, oops. I enabled hidden draws. My bad.
Unless that one that was about killing virgins.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. Something false.
So go ahead and select your cards that you've drawn, and you can do like click and control click too for multiple things, and then hit the reveal selected button. Does that make sense?
I also don't seem to be able to move them.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do it for you. Reveal. And then I'm going to drag them under your name. Okay. So normally what should happen here is these should be hidden, right? So that each of us is holding our cards in our hand. But we're not fighting each other anyways. We're fighting the killer. And the killer is going to randomly draw cards after he tells us who he's attacking. So it's not like Kurt gets to look at the card and then decide who he's attacking. So it's still going to be kind of random, even with us seeing each other's cards. So when you decide who to attack, you can decide to attack an individual or everybody. Who are you attacking first?
I think I'm attacking Marianne.
Okay, so Marianne has 2 cards. And for those at home, it is a king of diamonds and a 4 of clubs.
Oh, they
And
can
so
see
what
that.
you're no, because they can't see that. But for our viewers at home who don't know what's going on, that's what's happening. You are going to select a card. So go ahead and put 1 in the cards and hit submit.
Okay. And submit. Oh, I didn't have hidden, but I guess it doesn't matter.
No, that's okay. You don't want hidden. So you got a 6 of spades. The only way that Marianne is going to survive is by using the king of diamonds, because that's a higher card. So the higher cards always win. And then there is some suit order, which we'll get to when we get to a tie. So the only way Marianne can survive here is by using that king, which I assume is what you want to do, Andrew?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So what happens is we take that 6 and that king, and I'm just going to select both of them and say delete. And now notice that Andrew has only 1 card. I still have 2. But now you as the killer can, and there's 2 ways to do this, by the way, in the game. You can keep narrating. So like we can find out what happens as they fall down the stairs, and then we can move on to what the next killing scene blow is. Or because you're the killer, I'm going to let you decide which you want to do. You can just say like, okay, now I'm going to attack blank. And, you can resolve the card thing and then show what happens in the scene. Or you can resolve each hand as you pull it and keep playing with the scene. Does that make sense?
I have an idea.
Okay.
So I think I think Marianne. So she drops her rosary, right, and it shatters, and she starts backing up towards the stairs. And as she's about to fall, she reaches out and grabs the banister, and on the other side, she hits this this like large crucifix thing that was on the wall, and it falls and begins to tumble down the stairs towards Andrea.
Okay. So now as the killer, you can decide to attack all of us, or you can't decide to attack Marianne again because she's already been attacked, and you have to attack everybody else first. Now you can attack us individually, but you can also just say, I attack all of you.
Yeah, I think I'm attacking Andrea with this like tumbling crucifix.
Okay,
Because
awesome.
she's like looking down at the thing. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, a crucifix as a murder weapon is going to be great for this type of game.
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and pull another card.
Okay. All right. So I need to put a thing in there and submit. Okay.
All right. Now, as far as the order of the cards, because you pulled a 7, I also have a 7. I have a jack as well. But does my 7 beat yours? So the way that the suits go in this game, it's bloody beats black. So red cards are higher than black cards.
Okay.
And stabby beats round. So the more points it has, the more deadly it is. So the diamond beats hearts, and the spade has a couple spikes, beats the club, right?
That's very good.
Bloody beats black, stabby beats round. So
That's good.
my 7 beats your 7. So I'm going to select both of those and hit delete.
Okay.
And now, so this crucifix is falling down the stairs. And you can narrate it as the killer, but we can also keep like role playing. It's up
Yeah,
to
I think it goes back to you guys to narrate how that
I think
like
that
how do you get out of the
crucifix
way?
goes down the stairs and bounces and flips up in the air and goes right past, like she turns and it goes right past my head, and it's got like sharp edges, and I'm like, what the? And I look back and it stabs itself in like the back wall, right?
Yeah.
Can I
Say that again?
can I amend that a little bit?
Of course.
Actually, no.
Let's talk.
That goes into the wall. I think I continue tumbling down the stairs, and I'm the one who hits the door. And the door, because it was shaking before, it actually cracks, and the door swings open towards the street a bit. And that's where there's a figure standing who takes a step in over me.
So as far as the way, and I'm going to jump in as a facilitator. As
Mhm.
far as the way the game as written, like us as players don't narrate the killer. So it's really
Okay.
kind of up to whoever's running the scene to say whether or not a killer is there or not there.
Sure.
Now, depending on story games,
So
you can do whatever you want, but
I'll cut it with I hit the door and it starts to crack open.
Okay. Let's see. So that's Marianne.
So now that you've attacked both people, well, actually, you attacked me last, so you
Mhm.
cannot attack me again alone. You can
Mhm.
attack either Marianne or you can attack both of us simultaneously.
Right.
And then it's like whoever has the higher card kind of thing, or whoever survives.
So I think the house begins to shake, and that door that you hit does like starts to swing open and then slams and swings open and start like all the doors and windows start like opening and slamming. And I think this door is about to like clock you right in the head. Because you fell back a little bit. So like as it swings open, it's about to swing back and clip you again. So I'm gonna attack Marianne. Oh no, I already attacked.
No, you attacked
You can attack-
Marianne.
Yeah, so I can attack Marianne again.
Yeah.
It's either me or both.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'll attack both. I think the house is attacking you guys.
Right.
So what do I do when I attack both? Do I draw
Just
two cards?
one card.
Okay.
No, just one.
All right.
We both have to fight that same card. So in this case,
Womp womp.
yeah. So Marianne has a lower card. Now, if I have a relationship with Marianne, like I am a friend or I have a screwing relationship, I can take my card and replace it. Like if it's bigger, I can replace her card with mine to save her if I wanted to. But I don't have a relationship with Marianne, so I can't. Right? Or
How does
simultaneously.
that work
Yeah.
with rivals?
So a rival can take their card. If it's bigger than the killer, a rival can use their card to increase the killer's card to try to make it harder for the person to survive.
Great.
But it's
Dig it.
always, and this is, the rules are a little funny this way. Like you can't use your lower card to replace someone's high card. It's all about taking a high card and increasing the level of something, either your friend's card or if you're a rival, increasing the level of the enemy. So it's always about giving them a higher card, because kind of when you're doing it, you're sacrificing your high card to make somebody else's life difficult. But that also puts you in a spot because it's your high card that's going away, right?
Right. Okay, so this is gonna kill Marianne. So this door is like it swings open and then swings back just as Marianne falls with her head in the door jamb, and we get this like sickening crunch. And the door like swings back open like it's gonna do it again. And then the figure steps out from behind.
And what do we see? Like just like a burnt figure kind of thing?
Yeah.
Burning figure?
So I don't wanna overwrite what we've already seen. So was it like boiling, like bubbling flesh, like burning flesh, or was it like paper? Because she said paper burning. So I think it's like an ashen figure, right? Or is it like flesh that's like burning away?
Yeah, it's like a flesh that's burning.
Okay. So then I think so we see this black pants with white shirt. I'm just gonna go with the trope. Step around, and the edges of all of the clothing are singed, and the eyes are like burning coals. And as this hand like reaches out, smoke drifts away from the singed and burning fingers. And like this rushing wind blows past and blows the front door off its hinges, giving Andrea an out.
And so I think she just, she stumbles. There's a moment of fear, but then she sees that light shine through the door and just books it. And she's jumping over the body of Marianne, right?
No, I think she's running away from Marianne, like
Okay.
towards the front door. We
it,
don't have
got
a good like what the house looks like.
Yeah. Well, let's bring out a map. All right. Yeah. No, that sounds cool.
Okay, so I think the scene ends with Marianne running past, or sorry, Andrea running past the camera, and the door shutting behind her to the house. Like in
Awesome.
that clunk is when we pick up on some other clunk somewhere else.
Now, in a standard game, when the scene ends like that, we would still go through the process of establishing relationships. Like, has any relationship changed? Or do we have new relationships? Like, these characters didn't have a relationship before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they would be rivals or whatever, whatever we determine. Because people are going to be dying in every scene and only one person's left. I don't know that you retroactively set relationships. Like this person's already dead, right? So because we're going with the Carnage rules, I don't think we're going to see too many new relationships here. And I think that's okay. Yeah.
I have a question. When a character dies and another character had a relationship with that character, does that not count anymore?
No, it still does.
Okay.
Even if they're dead, the relationship is still solid and it still counts for picking up cards for the rest of the game. Good question. I will say this though. Normally, what I do when I run this game is I allow the killer to decide whether or not the scene is a Carnage scene or not a Carnage scene if we're using Carnage rules. So each scene you can kind of, as the killer wants, they can determine, okay, well, is one person going to die or multiple people going to die? I recommend, like at this point, we have like, in theory, an hour left. And honestly, I got to go check with my partner if I have an hour because we're actually supposed to be on a trip tomorrow and that kind of thing. And I said I'd be done at 11. So let me go get permission possibly to continue. But normally, like we talked about how there were only going to be 2 characters in this scene and it was going to be quick. That was like a 25, 30-minute scene.
Sorry.
No, it happens. We're gamers. We do what gaming does. But I'll be right back and then we can continue this. But actually, you guys don't even have to. Oh, so I was supposed to be next, right? You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to hand it over to you, Andrew. You will be the killer in the next scene. And then determine how many people you want. You don't have to wait for me if you want to grab 3. And then just go for it. But I'll be back.
I think I'm going to do 3 just to make things easier. And it is going to be...
It's going to be a Carnage scene?
So, yeah. Just to keep this bus moving.
Cool.
What's the scene?
Yeah, what are we doing?
That are supposed to be picking characters are muted.
Well, what's the scene?
So this is across town. So this is across. It's afternoon, and the have met up for lunch and are about to break off to go knock on another person's door.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go with Dolkan, the butcher.
Okay.
Does he run the shop?
Yeah, we'll say it's his shop.
Or is he? Or okay. Okay. Bell?
I think I am gonna be Karen.
Okay.
Let's see. kind of don't want. Let's see. I kind of want to go Tran then.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
So the camera is going to start with these plates of food in front of everyone, and there's going to be a star wipe, and then all the plates are empty, and the restaurant started full, and after the wipe, it's just the three of you guys left in here, and then the camera cuts to just like the grit and like it shriveling up and blackening and like steam coming up off of the burgers, and then it kind of pans over to the three of you.
Are we converting Dolken?
I'm gonna say Dolkan is like just in the middle of chopping some meat, just going around butchering. You guys are probably talking to him, and he's half paying attention, just like, yes, okay. You want me to stop doing what now?
Well, cutting meat, because meat, as it says in the good book, should be always be consumed as an entire entity.
Believe me,
Also, you cannot process meat or sell meat from Sunday to Saturday.
trust me when I say that all of the meat of this animal will get used. Nothing gets spared. Now, as far as not processing it between those days, I cannot do. That I cannot do. So,
Well, what about the day between Saturday and Sunday? Do you think you can just do it that day?
do you mean the minute between midnight and 1 o'clock? Sure, why not?
All right. Now, don't get smart. Okay, she's just trying to educate you is all.
I've seen many like you come through this town. You come, you talk, you leave, and things go back to the same. I don't know why I spend my time with you.
I mean, but do they always go back to the same?
The bell and the front door rings, but there's no one there.
He takes his butcher cleaver and just slams it down. These kids! And he starts walking over to the door to see who exactly was supposed to be there, and he opens it and looks out.
Oh, the door is locked.
Okay. So he's just
There's like a vibration. All of you.
A vibration?
Yeah, the store starts to shake.
Oh my
Hey,
god, an earthquake. I try to stand on like a whatever has a hinge.
you need a door frame. You can't just he like grabs Karen and like by the hip, and starts like leading her towards. There's probably the door frame towards the back of the shop.
he just kind of follows, just because he doesn't really trust him. And they're going towards the back of his shop, so he doesn't know what they're gonna do. It's like, wait, where are you going? You're not allowed back there.
You got to get in a door frame. If there's an earthquake, you got to get in a door frame.
I lived here all my life. You don't tell me how I'm supposed to react during earthquakes. I know.
Yeah, and you get in a door frame. I don't know. Look, there's not enough room in this door frame. Find another door.
There's a large amount of smoke coming from this grill, far more than should be coming off of just the grilled right now, and then a figure kind of steps out behind the counter and just rushes all of you in the door frame, effortlessly grabbing the cleaver and the mayor's help with these cards.
All right, let's do this thing. So, anybody in the scene? You should probably do it one at a time. So, let's do it in order. Hyro, how many cards do you get?
I get one.
All right, do one and submit. Grab your card.
Oh, I did token. My bad. There we go. I got my card.
All right, I'm going to drag it down under your name there. I'm going to delete the token. And then, so you got a queen. And then, Belle, you get how many cards?
I get 3.
Yeah, get 3 cards. Bam.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. See, you put your
I
name
think that's
label.
the highest card.
That is the high card. Oh, well, that's a good question. Is an ace high? Or is
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
pointy and it's red.
Yeah.
A is the highest, deuces are the lowest.
Awesome. And then, Kurt, how many do you get?
I get 3.
Dang. Are you moving them yourself?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, you do that. All right, so Andrew, you just attacked everybody, it sounded like, right?
I did.
All right, so go ahead and draw a card.
How do I move something forward?
You don't. If it's in front, it's in front, so you have to like rearrange them. You know?
Wow, that's as garbage as it can be.
That just is transparent for me. I don't see that one.
Yeah,
But
I don't see it either.
It's hidden.
Do you have the enabled hidden draws thing? Well, anyways, we can click on it and you can click on the reveal selected button. Is it hidden for you?
I think you just have to
No,
refresh again.
It's selected and it's outlined in purple,
I can reveal it.
but I can't draw it, and I hit revealed selected.
Let me try.
And not much happens.
Hey, look, I revealed it.
That is the lowest card. That's pretty funny.
Nice.
That's
Nobody's
the
dying
lowest
today.
Possible.
That's some shitty ass killer. All right, so but everybody does have to use a card to defend themselves, and obviously, you know, you could use the low card. However, if somebody is a rival of someone else in the scene, they can use a higher card to replace the killer. It's almost like you're pushing the other person in the way, right?
Well, I'm screwing
To
Karen.
replace-
So you can replace a card with a higher card. So if you're a rival, you can replace the killer's card with a higher card.
But then, so let's say Kurt's gonna do that. He has a king. He swaps the king over for the 2. Does he get the 2?
No, he replaces the 2 with his king. He would still have to defend it with his
Okay,
ace.
so-
And
Which
it
kills
that's
the butcher.
Right.
Okay.
Is that what you would do?
But you don't have rivalry with the
I'm-
butcher.
Yeah,
That's right.
This
I have a
was just
rivalry with
hypothetical.
All right, I'm screwing the what's her name? Karen.
Karen.
So I don't think I replace it.
I mean, I think I replace it.
She's like, this is my punishment for
ace.
give it your ace,
So,
Yeah.
so everybody
so-
dies.
well, no. I think this is the problem. Is like carnage rules are a special version for large tables.
Mm.
Normally, you don't have carnage rules, right? So you're just trying to kill one person, right? And so, in most of the time, if the killer's attacking one person, then being able to replace the killing card is for that individual. So I think what actually happens here is Belle could take her ace, replace the 2 for you, Kurt,
Mm,
right? But everyone else is still playing off the ace, right? Because like she's not screwing Hyro's character, right?
right.
So Hyro still has to fight the 2. She has to fight the 2, but you have to fight the ace in this case.
I thought Hyro had to fight the ace. If I'm
I don't think so
mistaken.
because you're not screwing him, right?
Okay.
So, like it's kind of your relationship with Kurt's character. I'm not looking at the sheet. So it's
Okay.
Karen and Tran's relationship, right?
Mhm.
Which is allowing her to kind of like
Okay.
Save me. Get out there.
You know what? It's everyone for themselves. So you're the man. I'm not. I'm getting out of here.
yes.
All right, so you kill Tran?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
So does
So
it
I'm gonna
kill 2
drag-
people, or does it just kill the lowest card? Or I guess it only replaces it for me, right? So it just kills Tran?
It just kills Tran.
Okay.
So Belle would still play a card to save herself, right? Because everybody got attacked, right?
Yeah.
So she still
Yeah.
needs to defend against the 2. So she uses like the 5, for example.
Yeah.
Right. And then Hyro would have to use the queen, right?
Right.
And then you're just dead,
Yeah.
Tran.
Tran dies. So can I
What does that look like?
narrate Tran's death?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I think Tran like looks into Karen's eyes, and he screams, "I've never loved anyone!" And he just turns and he like runs at the guy and he's like, "Save yourself!" and jumps on the like killer and just gets hacked to pieces.
And the killer is way too fast. I mean, he's burning, but he moves like lightning, and he just like one slash across your throat, and then he turns and he throws the cleaver at the butcher.
Oh, nice. Now the butcher survived the last attack, but now the killer is attacking the butcher,
Mhm.
right? And although Andrew can choose a card, Hyro has no cards left, so Hyro will lose. Period. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was the quick way to end this scene.
Yeah.
And it's poetic.
Butcher dies by his own
He
cleaver.
grilled the meats, and now he dies by his own cleaver.
Do we see how the scene ends? Like how Karen gets out of the scene?
I think there's a door back there.
Okay. Yeah, I think I ran out like saying, "I will never forget you." But
Do you look back?
no, I think there's these like smoke coming out of everywhere, like ash. You said. I'm kind of like running blind.
Okay.
And there's like tears coming down like black because of all the ash, like. Woo.
I think the last thing that happens is the killer walks over to the grill and disconnects the gas line, and as like flames start enveloping this building, he just kind of away.
Awesome.
Can we say that the reason she's able to find her way to the door in the smoke is because the goats are baying outside?
Yeah, a goat is like it whips her head around. One
awesome.
of them rams the door with its head, throwing it open. Which again, we're edging back into slapstick. But
Yeah, I got
Yes.
How about we do this? How about like she's in the smoke and she doesn't know which way to go, and it's totally one of those movie scenes where it's like, oh, she's fucked, right? Like there's this fire demon thing behind her, and she's trying to go one way or the other, and then you hear that goat sound, and she like whips her head, runs that way, and like finds the door and goes out, right?
Yeah.
All right, who else? Tran died
Beautiful.
too, right? All right, get the Tran character on the thing. Now, there's one thing I forgot to do. Karen
How
survived
dare you.
the scene, right? So when you survive a scene, you get a star, So
Ooh.
basically, after the star, put like an asterisk or something.
Okay, so there's Andrea though.
So,
Yeah,
She
that's right.
just survived one, yeah.
Correct.
And I get to use that to change a car, right? At any point?
That's right. So in the next scene, when you pick your cards, at any point during the scene, you can replace one card with a new draw. So if you get like a low shitty card, you can get a better card or whatever, right? That's what the stars do.
can you replace other people's cards or just yours?
Just yours. Although,
Bummer.
hey, when you play you can always have house numbers, right?
That's fine.
So that was that scene. So who's next?
That'd be me.
Hyro.
Do you
Play the
want to take
killer.
down to?
Nah, I want you guys to have fun.
Okay.
I've done this many times.
All right, let's go for 4. Since everyone's here.
Out for blood.
Let's see. We got it. So I want to say this is like maybe around the town center, like a bazaar area. People are shopping and going about their business. On a normal day, they would at least, but today it seems like a little bit more eerily quiet. Not a lot of people are around. It's almost like everyone's avoiding the streets, except for a few people who don't really seem to care about the quietness. So yeah, go ahead and pick characters.
Cool. Belle?
I think I'm gonna go for a sure death and pick Tashi.
So there we go.
Let's get her out of here.
We'll see.
Kurt?
Let's be the plucky virgin. Because it's not looking good for that plucky virgin.
Get all my characters.
Let's see. I'm gonna go for let's go for Tenzin. Let's see what that looks like. The distrusting goat herder.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a good transition scene too, because we just saw those goats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be Andrea.
All right. So the last thing we saw was Karen, the chaperone, running out from the restaurant, right, and being led by the goat baying, right, and behind her, like the whole thing was going up in flames, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you want to give us anything else for this scene, or just that kind of like eerily quiet marketplace?
I think I'm gonna stay with that. Just really quiet marketplace. No one's really around except for probably Tenzin and Tashi.
Yeah.
They don't really care about superstitions or anything like that. They're just hanging out.
And I think Tenzin is like we see the two of them, right? And Tenzin's got there's a he's holding like a rope and a like some kind of like shepherd looking staff, right? And he's holding at least one little baby goat is like at the end of the rope, right? But there's other goats around, and yeah, and they're making like a bunch of noise like that, right? And he's just like, the goats seem restless today.
Your goats are restless every day.
Not just my goats. Not just my goats.
Told you have to change those bells that they have for something else.
What's wrong with my bells?
They make so much rattle.
Yeah, you see him kind of like lift his stick, but he's like, "Oh, it's so cute." And you see this cute little goat at the end of the.
Is he holding up a goat like, look how cute?
I think he does. Like he lifts it up for a second, and it doesn't choke the goat or anything, but he lifts it up for a second just to like try to get it to get quiet, and then he just kind of, you see his face kind of melt a little bit, and he picks it up and he's holding the goat, and he's like, I don't know. I think there's something in the air. Do you smell that? It smells like burning.
You know what?
This is when Andrea
do smell it.
whips around the corner, screaming, "Ah! Ah, she's dead! Call the cops! I didn't sign up for this!" And she runs headfirst into a bench and just kind of like topples over and like stands up and is about to run into Tenzin. Like, oh my god, thank God you're here. We need to call the cops. We were attacked. Oh my god.
I think Tenzin, like kind of right before she crashes into him, like he drops the goat and he grabs her by the shoulders, and he's like, shh, shh, like tries to calm her down for a moment, and get her to just like
Not one of your
breathe.
fucking goats. We need to no. And she starts to like bustle past him, like, we're gonna die. We need to get to safety.
I think she bumps
I think-
into Bailey as she runs past, because he has found like a wayward goat and he's like bringing it back. And he's and Andrea, hi, are you?
Marianne is dead. We need to go.
What
We
do
need to
you
get the
mean
fuck
she's
out of
dead?
here.
Like,
Marianne
I was just
is dead.
like, how dead? What do you mean dead? She's not. Why would she be dead? That doesn't. I would.
She's going to gesture down to the blood on the lower half of her legs from when the door hit her skull and spray. There was an accident. We were
Oh
attacked
my god!
in a
Did you
house.
spill ketchup
There's a
on yourself?
Man,
That's gonna stain.
she slaps you. I'm just like, what? Did you even hear yourself?
I think you get a sound like ah.
And I think
Okay.
we see for a minute like Tenzin and Tashi, right? They're like looking at this scene, right?
Yeah.
And it's just
Do you guys
like
smell something?
just shaking their head.
When the slap occurs, I'm like, okay, lady,
That
why?
building's on fire.
Sorry, what was that, Tashi?
What is it that you need? What happened?
And I think Tenzin, even
There's a
before you have a chance to respond, Tenzin turns to Tashi and whispers on the side, and he's like, "Don't encourage them. They're
I
crazy."
probably should. Listen, lady, I've already donated to you. Was just passing through, and I kind of
I don't
attempt to
give a
turn away.
fuck. I don't give a fuck about you or this or she
Language.
throws the Bible on the ground and be like, no.
Oh
This was
no!
all
And he
bullshit.
scoops it up.
This was supposed to be a relaxing weekend, and no.
I want to say that it's like during her outburst that there's probably inside the shop a brazier that's going on just to keep it warm, and it just starts to erupt. Like, again, we're gonna follow this whole theme of just fire coming out, being uncontrollable. Yeah, it just erupts and starts to like just coals are just flying out, and starting to catch fire everywhere else, and the figure just steps out again out of the fire and just runs towards everyone.
Oh golly,
I push someone.
your fire's going, Mister. You better go check on that.
Are you attacking everyone?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get cards. All right, in order, I guess. Belle, you go first.
Okay, I get one.
All right, and then Kurt.
I get 2 cards.
Tomer, can you put that?
Yeah.
Because I can't. Thank you.
I am 10 and 9. What am I? Here we go.
I'm gonna only get 1 card. Oh, oops, a token. Even I do it.
You get a single token.
Yes. There it is. And then Andrew, how many do you get?
I get 2 cards.
Oh, Andrea gets 2. Oh man, you still have that thing. Is there a checkbox? Do you see a checkbox that says enable hidden draws on yours?
Yes, but I can't uncheck it.
All right, that's cool.
Are they revealed? I hit reveal.
One of them is.
Which one? The 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the 7 good?
Yeah.
All right.
And diamond is the best suit.
Yes.
Okay.
Bloody and stabby.
All right, you
All right.
murderer.
Grab a card.
I
Get
put one.
that 9. Actually, no. Just get a 10 of clubs. No, you got the 10 of clubs. Never mind.
I just got a jack. Aw, 3. Weak. Oh, well, someone's gonna die. All right. So Hyro got a 3 of clubs. So most of us can beat that, but not
Not Tashi.
Natashi.
What
So
kind is her?
Maybe she runs in to get her goods.
right, as she ran in to try to save something valuable, the figure just ran out and probably. We're gonna go with maybe did a lariat, and her head just comes off as he ran towards everyone else. Just caught her. It just caught her as she was running in, knocked her head off, and ran towards everyone else. But I think he overcalculated his landing and missed everyone.
All right, Tashi's headless. Do any of us? We don't. No, none of us have relationships with each other. So I'm going
No.
to select all these low cards.
Bitch, Carolina was here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is what I was talking about. This we're all gonna die.
I
My
think
mother was right.
Tenzin is just like eyes wide, looking at this scene and looking back at these two, and he's like, "You did this. I knew we should have kicked you out. You brought this." And he doesn't even know what it is. He's just pointing at it, but also kind of like ignoring it.
I am going to grab Bailey and kiss him hard because he's the plucky virgin and he deserves to not die without being kissed.
So it looks like next I left this all at random. So next person that he's going to attack is going to be Kurt. And
Which is Bailey, right?
yeah,
Yeah, Bailey, the plucky
All right.
virgin, who's being kissed right now.
That's perfect.
Hard.
Hard.
I
Oh shit! Do we get a relationship? Can we be screwing?
Oh, that was unexpected.
Does that kiss make us screw?
It won't save you anyways.
I use my pen to replace it, and it's still higher than what you have.
Yeah, I know.
So
All right.
they're in the middle of this embrace and kiss, and then how does this murder look, Hyro? I mean, I totally imagine like we're watching the movie, right? And there's like the chaos, and then there's that moment of like they're kissing, and like you kind of forget about all of the nutso stuff in the background, but that's gonna be like violently interrupted, right?
Yeah.
I think the kiss gets really hot.
Metaphorically and yeah, I imagine like this is the last moment and your hands are like all over my body.
I think he's kind of stunned, but then suddenly like he goes for it, and then his lips just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I don't know, Hyro, what happens?
Yeah, I kind of want to say, like, I think he just grabs by the shoulder like grabs him on the shoulder, just pulls him back, holds him up, just holds him up, and just, I don't know, maybe set him on fire. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So we're going with hot. It's like
That sounds good.
he throws him at the brazier that was still in the shop. It's still burning shop. Hard, so he lands and dies immediately. Doesn't get, not gonna burn to death, but still just.
I think we see Tenzin sees all this happen, picks up the little baby goat, and just runs down the street, tries to run away.
I'm scrambling after.
Okay. Oh, looks like he's going after Tenzin.
All right. Well, I think we know what the result of that's going to be.
Yeah.
So I have no cards, so Tenzin's dead. So what does that look like? And we all know that as Tenzin dies, the little goat's going to get away, right?
Right, of
Oh,
course. Yeah. Nothing happens
Without
to the
saying.
goat. Right.
Yeah, no animal cruelty.
That's right.
So I'm not really sure how he would kill Tenzin. I'm guessing just the same thing. He runs up, like he's running away. He's just like attacking almost anything that moves. He sees Tenzin running away and runs after him. And
I have an idea.
Go for it.
I mean, I think he he's all fire stuff, right? So I think he just grabs this like a piece of wood from the burning house, right? And you see him pick it up, and he does this thing and it's like a bent piece of like burning, wood, and he chucks it, and it almost looks like a boomerang, like it kind of like swinging through the air, and it kind of like turns a little bit, and it's at people's like feet level, right? So it's going after both of these guys, right? Andrea and Tenzin, who are both running in the same way, and Andrea like had turned around and sees this and kind of like jumps to the side, and it just barely misses her feet. And then it trips up Tenzin, right? So it hits Tenzin and he falls on the ground, and the baby goat like goes rolling, in the distance. And you see him like turn, and that dude was far away, right? Like that as soon as he threw that thing. But we heard this lightning speed stuff before, right? So all of a sudden we just see he's like right on top of him. Like it's like, where'd he come from? And we just see him take his hands, which are kind of like that burning, melting flesh thing, and they just dive into Tenzin's, like stomach and chest, and they just go straight through his flesh, and we just see like the fire start to envelop him. And we don't hear a scream, but then we hear the little bang as like the goat kind of like runs off.
And we hear the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The annoying bells.
Yes.
I actually thought of a funny way for Dylan to die, or what's his name?
Bailey.
You mentioned that he was getting handsy because this is his first like real kiss. I think like he gets handsy, but then it cuts down and it's the killer's hand through his chest.
I dig it. I think that might be more my game and less this game.
Sorry, go ahead.
I can't say I didn't have that thought. Right. That's
cool.
That's everyone dead.
So how does Andrea get away?
She runs. She is. She runs to a church.
She runs towards the church?
She runs towards the church. We don't see her entering the church, but like she's just booking it. Unlike Carolina sneakers, she probably does that thing where like she rips the side of her skirt to make it easier to run. But yeah, she's hoofing it.
Cool.
All right. Belle is the next killer.
Yep.
All right. So I think that I'm just gonna keep it going from that moment that Andrea gets to the church and we see her entering, and then the camera like starts like pointing outside the church. And this was like a very lovely day. And suddenly it starts like getting dark, but you can see that it's not that the sun is going down, but that the entire sky is being covered with ash. And when you hear this supernatural screech again, it's gonna be 4 because we need to kill a lot of people. So this all happens inside the church.
Okay. Now, there's no guarantee that someone will choose Andrea. So we could already have people in the church too. And of course, if somebody wants to choose Andrea, they can. But yeah, Kurt, you're up.
I think Wotan is in the church.
Okay.
Gotta bring my man Wotan in here.
I think, yeah, Durango Darling will be there with them.
Oh yeah.
All the people I was gonna pick. I will reprise my role as Andrea Gibson.
And Hyro?
I think I'm gonna go with Luke Campbell.
I kind of wanted the Luke Anga.
Like it's the last 2 or last 3.
Because I almost picked Anga to try and force that Luke Anga in one scene together.
Do you want to play? Do you want to play Anga?
I feel like it makes more sense for me to be Andrea opening up the doors to the 3 of them.
Sure.
I can be Carolina.
Oh no. This is all just head booking, fantasy booking.
Okay.
I have no actual preferences.
So the door opens. We see that last scene. We see Andrea running toward the church, and then she opens the door, and then we see these guys in there.
Yeah, so I imagine Luke is like putting away all of the books, just making sure that everything is neat and all the places have their books and the pews are clean and all that.
So what you see, like Andrea just got into the church. The doors are open. There's windows, and outside it's pitch black of ash, and these like the air is hard to breathe because it's so hot, and your eyes starts to get teary because of all this hot air. So something definitely weird is going on.
I think is Durango and Wotan. Are they? Where are they? Do you think they're in like a confessional booth, like smoking out?
It's up to them.
Or maybe making out?
Wotan and Durango in a confessional booth making out?
Or smoking out?
Yeah, sure,
or both.
Yeah.
Why not both?
I think, maybe he's like kissing her on the neck, but she's like taking a toke. And, she's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can keep doing that. And maybe he's like nibbling on an ear or something. Mm-hmm. And she blows out. And, at that point, she's kind of like looking through the little, like confessional grating, thing. Mm-hmm. And she's like kind of squinting her eyes because we see like the light has changed, right? And, he's still actually like necking her, but she's not really paying attention anymore. And she picks up her hand and kind of like opens the door a little bit. And, we see a view toward where, these other characters are and that open door, but it's like dark outside. And she's like, shit, man, I think I've been smoking too much. Like, maybe I'm going blind.
And Andrea is walking in backwards through the front door, kind of like with her hands up. And she's like, no. It's them. You can take them. Leave me out of this. I don't sign up for this. This is, and like ash is pouring in through the front door. And at a certain point, she runs towards the apse of the church.
What's an apse, by the way?
The back where all the shit is stored.
Okay, got it. Like all the fancy table shit and whatever.
Yeah.
The stage.
It's usually behind. There's like the altar trap, and then there's a room behind.
Got it.
Because most churches are built like crosses, so it's this
Right.
top part right here.
Got it.
I'm gonna say that from the door of the church, you hear this cracking noise, and you see the ground like breaking, and in different directions. And one's going to go towards the booth, and the other one's going to go towards where Andrea went, and the other one is going to go wherever Luke is. So I'm attacking everyone.
Awesome. All right. So why don't Kurt, you go ahead and get your cards first. Oops, hold on. Let me delete the last card and let me reshuffle.
1, 2, 3, 4. I get 4 cards.
Dang.
Wotan likes everybody.
Wotan's powerful.
Yeah.
All right, Wotan's a
This was
good
gonna be
guy.
hard.
Let's do this.
All right. I only get 2 cards. So let me wait till you move some of those.
Okay.
And then I will get these 2.
Oof.
Oh, dang. Somebody got an ace.
Fuck you.
Dude, we're the power couple.
Yeah. No, don't worry. It's just the drugs. Keep kiss. Let me kiss your neck.
Yeah. All right, Andrea, you get 2.
Do
And
you
need me to move them?
No, but
Oh.
I'm thinking rude. Because I have my 2 points,
You do. Now
but I'm
you
not.
don't use them until you need to. So you can actually wait until the killer draws her card, and then you can decide if you want to use this. So you can use the star anytime during the scene. And they refresh.
Yeah.
So you use those stars this scene, next scene you can reuse those stars. Right?
Oh, really?
I think
Yeah.
Andrea might be the star of this show
Could be.
with 2 stars.
Yeah. Don't
We'll
think
see.
she's making it out of the scene, though.
We'll see.
We'll see.
And then Hyro, did you already pick your cards? Yeah. Do you need help moving them? You're muted if you're talking.
Yeah. Can you move it, please?
Oh shit!
Right. That's okay. Yeah, the black
clicked-
one.
I clicked submit instead of refresh.
That's okay.
Wait, is there a refresh button somewhere here?
No, just refreshing the browser.
Oh, refreshing the browser isn't a problem. It doesn't affect anything.
So you got a 7
but
of diamonds.
It looks like you got a 7 of diamonds, right? Oh.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So cool. I
Damn,
think.
that's gonna eat one of my kings.
Oh, you got a 6. Don't you have the 6 of hearts?
We're
A 6 of
I'm working with
hearts
that.
doesn't
Working
beat
with that.
a 7 of diamonds.
Nope.
Yeah, it does. It's always numbers
No.
first.
No, 7 is
A
Yeah.
6
higher.
doesn't beat a 7.
That's why.
No, she has a 7. I have a 6.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was not looking at that correctly. Yeah,
So
you have to use one of your kings.
Durango is the only one I have a relationship in this, so I can technically help Durango. But Durango's got good cards. So
Yeah.
I think everyone makes it.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of this 10.
So I'm gonna select. I'm gonna select the lowest cards for everyone.
my king of spades goes away.
Actually, I'm not. Yeah. So, oops. I will delete my. Oh no! I deleted the wrong card. That's okay. Fuck it. I'm deleting your card, Hyro, and it's your king of spade, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're down to the following cards. I accidentally deleted my ace. But you know what? I think that's narratively what happens. You know, she like, I don't think Wotan even notices what's happening, right? Like all these like those flame cracks are going, like the flooring is like going toward them.
Mm-hmm.
And she like grabs his head and like pulls it off of her neck, you know, and his eyes are like kind of wide. And she just like turns his head, you know, so he can see what's going on. And I think like they just jump out of the booth, and maybe the booth goes up in flames, right? The little confessional like behind them as they're kind of like running. Maybe they're running toward Andrea because she was heading toward the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? Wotan's calling after. What did you do? What did you do?
2 fingers behind my back, running.
Are you flipping me off?
Yeah.
He
I
turns.
love it.
I think he turned because he's a local, so I think he turns and goes, "What does this one mean?"
Yeah. And I think Durango is, you know, like right next to him, and she's just like, "Run!" as if maybe it means run, right? But like, he might as well.
Okay. And he looks at who's the other person in here? Luke. He looks at Luke and he goes, "Run!"
That's awesome.
Luke is running.
So I think we're all running to the back.
Yeah.
Does the killer want to strike or let us keep playing?
No, I think that you see these figures standing at the door, but he can't come in, so he makes this floor like keep cracking, and when they reach like the back of the church, the wall, because of all the cracking, starts from falling down.
Oh shit.
So I'm attacking everybody again.
Do it.
One card.
Oh shit! So much for that ace that you lost.
That ace! That was my ace!
So we all die?
No, you don't all die. What happens is if everyone dies in the scene, whoever has the highest card lives.
Okay. Then Wotan will save Durango.
Wait.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Do your thing.
What do you have?
I have 2 rerolls. It's a 9 and a 3. Nah, I'm gone.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No, that was a good call though. We forgot about that.
But can't you use like both? Oh, you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 stars. I have a 10, a 9, and a 3, and no.
Oh my god.
I was hoping to get like a king of diamonds, maybe one of those aces.
Actually, Wotan has so many relationships. I don't want to kill him, but I think Wotan saves Durango.
Yeah. Do it. How does that look?
So the wall crumbles, right? And the stained glass window, like the thing's falling, right? And this stained glass window is like shattering, and so he just like throws his body over Durango, and the stained glass punctures him, and she's able to crawl out from under it and go through the stained glass window and get away.
Oh man. Does everybody die from stained glass, or are there like bricks and things that smash people?
Well, the whole church is coming down, so
Yeah.
So she gets out and it's like,
I for sure grab Luke and kiss him too. So I've established a pattern here.
As established in the fiction.
Yeah.
nice.
Luke kind of pushes her away because he's uptight. So he's like, "Hey, we're not supposed to do that in here." And he just pushes her off.
Love it.
as a church comes down on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to get into heaven, man. None of that adultery.
So
Well,
Durango
that's
gets a
the scene.
star.
Yes. Let's put a star there. Right. So depending on how this plays out, Kurt, this could be the last scene.
Yeah.
If you want 4 people in it.
You know,
Scene with 1.
It's right. It's
Drag
we're
the motherfucker out.
we're getting a little long in the night, so I think this is Okay, so who's left? We got the Sherpa, we got the Bright-Eyed Dreamer, we got the
Actually, we have as many characters as players, so this is the final scene.
Yeah, this is it. So
If you do 4, this is it.
yeah, we're gonna do 4. I'm trying to think of what the scene is. So Durango's the bus driver. I think. All right, so I think Durango gets away, and makes it back to the hostel or whatever wherever they were staying, and this is them loading the bus to get out of town.
Awesome. All right. And who? Oh, I get to choose first.
You got first choice.
I mean, Durango's so tempting, but somebody else can play Durango. I'm going to be Anga, the wise Sherpa.
I'm gonna bring it full circle. I'm gonna be Carolina.
All right. Hyro.
I'm gonna play Karen.
All right.
And they have a rivalry.
Oh, lucky. Belle gets to be Durango. All right.
Do you need me to set the scene, or you guys want to have an idea and you want to start?
I wouldn't mind a little direction.
Okay. So, smoke rises in the town. Several of the buildings are burning. I think Durango burst in the door a little while ago, to find Anga and Carolina. Actually, Anga comforting Karen and Carolina disbelieving Karen. As Karen tries to explain what happened in the butcher shop.
It's not your fault. Just, I know it was your idea to come here, but you can't blame yourself for their deaths. I know this entire trip was your baby, and you're the reason we're all here, but you can't beat yourself up about it.
You weren't there. You didn't see it. He just came in. There was fire everywhere, and he just. What did he kill? I forgot who the first one that was.
That was the butcher, and that was, I think that was Tran.
Yeah, Karen and
Yeah.
Tran. She lost her young lover.
Right. He just he killed.
Oh yeah, no, she was screen Tran.
Like he killed Tran. He killed the butcher. I don't even know how I got away.
No, because Andrea was the one to get away from that scene because she ran to the market square.
This is a different scene.
No, I'm in the butcher shop. Karen got away from the house, the very first scene.
No. Andrea got away from the house in the very first scene. And Karen got away from the butcher shop with Tran.
Yeah.
Yep, no, I'm getting my scene. Okay, cool. Continue.
I think
at this
Hyro's
point-
frozen. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I think Hyro's frozen there.
Yeah. Hyro,
Either-
are you there?
Either that or he needs a high five.
Yeah. Should we give him a second? What do you guys think? It is the last scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give him a
Right.
second.
Let me see if I've got, where's his email-y thing?
He dropped out. So he's probably...
I'll head him up on Discord.
Oh my god, the demon got to him.
Yeah, Karen's going to be the first. Oh, here he's back.
Oh shit. And now it's gonna grab us all in real life.
Awesome.
One by one.
I'm gonna throw Kurt under the bus. We're right.
Literally, that's like the scene. Sorry, Hyro. So what were you saying?
Just that she just got out, ran. I have no idea what one point my internet cut out, so I don't even know what was the last part I said.
Like the very start.
Yeah, take it from the top.
No, you didn't see it. He killed Tran. He killed the butcher. I don't even know how he got out alive. I ran out through the back, and I just ran until I got here. We have to go. We came here to save people, but this entire place is condemned. We have to leave.
The only people we can save now is ourselves.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
I know you feel bad about this, but I'm saying we need to leave.
I think that terrible shrieking sound like pierces the air, and there's like a sound of twisting metal, and like as if someone was crushing a can that was the size of a bus.
I also think it's about this time that the church collapses. So you hear that metal crunching, and then you hear this boom. Oh my god, what was that?
Wait, are you attacking me in the bus?
Are you prepping the bus?
Well, yeah, I guess that's what I was doing. Yes.
Yeah, then I'm attacking you in the bus. That makes sense.
All right.
Now that you volunteer, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna volunteer to get attacked, we gotta clear some of these out.
So I'm gonna go first to pick cards.
How do I?
Oh yeah. Here, I think you can clear everything. No, maybe not. Yeah, just keep selecting stuff and clearing them, deleting them.
Delete selected.
Yes.
I got some of them.
And then let's say shuffle discards. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna grab 3 cards.
So I'm just attacking. You guys get all your cards at once, huh?
Yeah, we get all our cards.
I don't know how you got a couple d20s.
I don't know, but it's kind of rad. Do I have advantage or disadvantage?
I think it's
You have
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Then I rolled a 2.
Everything.
Oh no! What happened to all my cards?
I have no idea. I just dragged the d20s out of the way, and then everything disappeared.
All right, I'm gonna get 3 new cards.
Okay.
Submit. All right. Bam, bam, bam. Those cards look pretty shitty. All right.
Yeah, way worse than what you had before.
All right. Andrew, you're next. How
I
many do you
am
have?
going to get 3 cards.
Nice.
Trip ace. Watch them. Ace, ace, ace.
Nope.
Nope.
And then
But that 2 is
Hyro.
real pointy.
Oh man, everybody gets a lot of cards. Hyro gets 3. Those are yours, right, Hyro? The 9, the 4, and the ace.
Mm-hmm.
You got an ace in play.
I get 2.
All right. Oh.
6 and a queen. And Karen and Carolina have a rivalry.
Yes, we do.
right. That's right.
Okay, so I'm attacking Durango. So let's get a card.
Ace.
Jack.
Well, I beat that
Okay.
with my Q.
So I will delete the Q and the Jack. So I think I don't know. Do you want to describe it since you won? So
Yeah, you were saying that the bus was getting crushed,
yeah, I think
right?
the bus is like and like there's this like tearing metal ripping sound, and then it starts to heat up, and then you hear like this hissing sound like the gas tank is about to go.
I think what I do is I get like trapped. So I'm going to kick the tank that I'm near to, so it will explode, and pray to God, pray to the Lord that it will like propel me out of this bus.
I love
What are the odds?
that you're like, please God, propel me, and you're just like, what? She's gonna die, and we see this explosion, and her body just rolls out of the bus.
Yeah, I mean in the
And I
slapstick
think,
version, she hits the window, but
And I have like a smoke, like
Nice.
coming
So
out
I think
of my.
I think you land and your t-shirt is slightly on fire. And so you're going to pat it out and you like pull out a joint and it's lit now.
Oh my god. Why wouldn't I? I think I just survived certain death. So
So
yeah, I'll puff that.
I think in this whole scene we haven't seen Anga yet, right? And I think like we're panning back and we see like she like got propelled out of the bus, right? And those other two were sitting there arguing like we have to get the fuck out of here, and like we just kind of like the screen, the camera pans back a little bit, and we just see Anga just sitting there, like standing, watching them,
Can,
from a
can,
distance.
can I add something to that?
Uh-huh.
To bring this full circle? He has a bag in each one of his hands.
Was he the Sherpa who was carrying shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of rad. I think he's got a bag over each shoulder, right? And he's like looking at this crazy scene, like the bus is exploding and this fire in the distance, and like maybe he was on his way to the bus or something, and he just drops both bags. And yeah, I think he's just watching. Like,
Did not if you would have just let them know that Tran killed that girl.
It wasn't my fault. We don't know that Tran did that. We still don't know what happened in what did we say it was?
Colombia.
Yeah, we didn't know. It could have been anything. You know how Colombia is.
No. He's a creep, and he's had our number since day one.
How dare you
Oh my
call him that? I love
She, like,
him.
Hand in the face. Oh my god, what was that? And she looks outside and sees an exploding bus.
We have to go. We have to get out of here. And she just starts
I
running.
know.
She's
I
not
know
gonna
you
have this
think that,
argument anymore.
but we have to leave.
She's just running at this point. She's like, "You're a lost cause, man." I'm like,
Okay.
she's realizing right now that previous Karen was just so dumb at that age. She's like,
So we run down, and we just see Anga standing there with the bags over his shoulders, kind of stunned. Like, oh my god, Anga's here. We're saved.
I think this is where Anga drops the bags and is like, I think you can carry the bags. And he just turns and kind of like walks back into the youth hostel, whatever, where they're staying, right?
Uh, she's gonna quickly tear through her bags, looking for a stiletto heel, because that can be used in a weapon in a horror movie.
I think we see walking out of the wreckage the figure, this smoldering former missionary, and he walks right by Durango and just turns and looks with these like terrifying burning eyes and just walks into the building. And the first person he sees is Andrea, like digging through her bags.
Carolina.
Oh, sorry, Carolina digging through her bags, and he like goes to like grab at her. So I'm gonna attack Carolina.
I'm gonna swing a shoe.
Roll for initiative.
All right, Carolina.
I will defend with my 9.
All right. So the shoe is effective. What do you do?
So, right for the eyes. I swing it over my head, and I actually feel like I drive it the stiletto into the killer's face. I have a feeling it doesn't actually do anything, but like he's just standing there for a second, just kind of roll past him and start running towards the bus.
Okay. So he lets you past and starts walking and like moves further into the house towards Karen. Like stiletto in his face, molten blood dripping down, and he like goes to grab at you.
Like, she's seen what he's done before, so she feels she doesn't have a chance. She just drops into a ball and hopes for the best.
Play dead. It'll be fine. It's fine.
What'd you get?
A 3.
She's fine.
So I think at this point we realize that he's obviously not interested in any of you. Like maybe he was trying to get past you to get to someone else, and then he sees you in a ball and then just keeps walking.
The Sherpa.
Now I'm gonna interrupt for a second. I mean, I think you're playing this perfectly, by the way, Kurt. So like you're making it seem like this is all part of the plan, and it's totally like the rules allow you to do one of either two things. We can do what we're doing where we're going back and forth, right? And just kind of keep playing the scene. There are some games or scenes where you might feel like, this is starting to get like a drag, like all this stuff. And maybe it's like all the tension is dripping out. Everybody's like, okay, what's going to happen already? If that ever happens, then you can actually just make it the card game and just keep going. I attack you, like back and forth until you figure out what the resolution is, and then just jump into that as the scene, right?
Gotcha.
So you can do that too. And in fact, I think they give a recommendation that if you have one killer, going back and forth just seems really silly. Whereas if you have if the killer is a horde of zombies, then all this back and forth could kind of like make sense and it maybe flows better. But it's totally up to us, and it's up to you as the killer. You can play this however you like. But I love how it's playing out so far. So,
So I think he continues going towards the Sherpa, and when he where did the Sherpa go?
So I think what happened is the Sherpa went up the stairs, right? And so, we see all these other people were left behind. He runs up there and he goes into some room, and there's like this chest, like a footlocker in front of we see him digging in it and under it, and we maybe even like a hidden, compartment or something. And he pulls out this, I don't know, what do you think? Is it like a book or is it an artifact?
Oh, I think it's like a
scroll or something.
I want to go with like a statue of a statue, like a stone statue.
Okay, so
can we say Buddha statue because it's Tibetan, or do we want it to be the religion?
Well, I don't know if a Buddha would conjure a demon though.
Yeah, I think this is like the artifact.
I think this is older than that.
Right.
Okay.
So I think he picks up this stone, golem statue thing, which, doesn't look really human necessarily. It's kind of like weird or whatever. And, I think right then we see him turn and I don't know.
And the the demonic missionary steps into the room, and with the shoe is mostly burned away. It's not like it burns the heel and then it falls. Like it just into ash and flies away, and the fire from that starts to create this smoke that begins to fill the room. And he looks dead at the Sherpa's face, and he says, "You chose that over me. I want my life back." And then just flame just erupts out of him, and tries to engulf the room. Come on. Do something cool. Oh, I didn't click anything. I just hit submit. All right. That doesn't do anything. You got to pick up. Oh, come on.
Oh, no. My plan.
So how does like, do we want to just go back and forth and then like resolve the scene?
I'm cool with that.
Okay, so I can't attack you again. So so you get away somehow.
So what we can do is this. Let's play out, like do a couple of attack things, and let's play out the cards. And
Okay.
then we'll find out, like we can start from where we left the scene off and then see how it plays out. But we'll
Okay.
know who survives and who dies. Right?
I'll do them one at a time. So I think the next attack it would be at everybody. So he would attack everyone. And I think what happens is the smoke like becomes this tornado firestorm thing that surrounds the house.
So let's see. I'm gonna grab Blah, Andrew, Hyro. Oh, we see one person dies here.
I'm gonna die screwing over what's her face?
You're gonna
Not unless I screw you over first. That's why.
I have a star that I can use.
Oh, nice. So yeah, use that star. Ooh, that's a survival star.
Yeah, it is.
Let's delete the
Come
6.
and get me, demon. Ready. I mean, next time I won't be ready because I won't have any cards, but yeah.
So Carolina and Karen were rivals, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were saying you wanted to screw each other over?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That sounds awesome.
she needs to beat a Jack and can't. I need to beat an Ace and I can't.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I think I know what happens for this resolution of these deaths, right? Because 3 people die here, right? Or 2 people die.
2 people die,
Okay.
but now Belle doesn't have any cards, and I've got 1 card left.
Okay, so I think the house explodes, and the scene that we see where the Sherpa is in there, the statue protects him from the blast, and so he just goes flying out the window in that room and lands in the like wreckage of the bus. So he's down there by Durango now, and the explosion of the house consumes the 2 that were like downstairs.
And they were screwing each other, right? So was it kind of like one?
So they were probably like fighting over who's gonna get out first.
We
That's
were
right.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, over who's gonna get out the door first, and instead they both die in the when the house collapses on them. And the figure like.
So we see those 2 out there, right? Durango and Anga, both who had flown through the air.
I'm gonna pass you the joint that it was smoking. It's the end of the world, man.
I think it's only fair that that you attack Anga first, because
Oh,
he's got a
100%.
card, and then we'll see what that means.
Okay, so I think he definitely attacks Anga.
And maybe this is happening as Anga's like resigningly reaching for the joint, right?
Right. So
But wait, I think the passing of the joint is a friendship. We get a relationship.
I like it.
I like it, but I also want to say nice try. Established at the end of the scene.
No, I think can't they be like established at any point during a scene?
No?
Oh no, it was at the end in the
Only at the end.
post-roll.
Okay.
Which is why we had so few, because we had too many scenes with everyone dying.
Yeah.
Which is why Durango's going down.
Yeah, I think Durango dies here, huh?
Yeah.
So well, no, because he's attacking you, so Durango can't die right now. He's attacking Aang.
Right.
Or
He
Anga.
is. Yeah, but Anga
But then you
survives,
can't.
and you can't attack Anga again. In theory, you could attack both of us.
Oh,
but then
so
we
that's
both
right. So
don't
I have to
cards,
attack both
and
of
then-
you.
Although what we could do is you attack both of us, and then both of us have to draw a card and see who has a higher card.
But
dig it.
that's not. I mean, I
dig
think you have to let Durango die.
Well,
I
tell
mean,
me how you survive this next
it's
attack.
in the cards.
I think so. I think Durango, because Durango's passing this joint over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I had died, I would have taken the joint and given Durango the statue, which is how Durango would have survived. But
Mm-hmm.
because she didn't, I think, like I take this joint and like I look at it and I've got the statue in my hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then and we have this whirlwind of like firestorm coming our way,
Yeah.
right? And I think Durango's like, you might as well, like the end is here, right? Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
And
he
maybe
attacks. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, so I think that last scene before the firestorm's like coming, we see Anga take a big breath, like sucking in from the joint.
Anga
And-
totally coughs.
Yeah.
And then the like firestorm smoke just swarms it, like collapses and hits.
And you hear
yeah, he's coughing, and so it attacks both of you. So there you go. So both of you can't die. So do you have to draw and see who lives?
well, did we determine that Anga's the one who's going to live? I think so, right?
Yeah, because you had a jack. So
Yeah, yeah, and you have the statue. So
I think like
oh, we didn't get that. Are you guys hearing?
Your
me?
audio's off, Tomer.
I accidentally clicked the stupid thing. So I think what happens is that, like we said, Anga still has the statue, right? We hear the coughing, we see the smoke, flame, fire, and it's just like silence, right? And it's like dark. And then we slowly see like the smoke clear. And I'm thinking like maybe everything is like burnt. Like it looks like the same area, but like all the buildings are gone, everything's gone, and we just see Anga sitting there holding like his hand is like this, but there's no joint there, and he's just holding the statue, and he's kind of like naked, right? Just like you just see his chest, like all his clothes are burned off or whatever. But I don't know, like this is the thing. If you look at our sheet here, who's had the most characters die under their watch?
There's a tie between Kurt
think so.
and
Kurt's got
no,
4.
it's
I
Kurt.
I have 4.
Hyro also has 4. I thought.
No,
No,
he's got
he's-
3, and there's 2 for Bell because the purple and blue look similar.
Yeah.
So in the rules as written, whoever has lost the most characters kind of gets the ability to do the epilogue. And they kind of specifically say this thing here. Let me read you. The player with the most dead characters narrates the final confrontation or whatever. And, does that last person actually survive, or is it like a fake out? Like when you watch Nightmare on Elm Street, like Freddy just comes back at the end and kills you anyways. So like, yeah.
Okay, so I know what happens. All right.
Okay.
So everything's burned out. He's standing there with his statue. The joint is gone. You see an exhale because he's been holding that puff, right? And as the smoke goes out, it sort of like wreathes around him and like gathers as his skin begins to burn and more smoke grows and the eyes go, and we just like get that close zoom onto the eyes as they go molten red, and like he turns and just walks back towards the town, or back towards the temple, the like that we saw as we drove in at the beginning.
Nice. So that's the final girl.
So what's the name of this movie?
Good question.
I think it's Burning Desire.
Don't join.
Redemption.
Don't join the Lord.
Drugs are bad. Praise Jesus.
There.
Nice.
Mission on Smoke Mountain.
I don't think I can beat any of those.
Well, all right.
All right. So that's the final girl.
Dig it.
That was
It was
that was
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
We killed everybody, guys.
Great job, guys. So I do want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Lauren. She wrote a game, a hack of this game, which I haven't gotten to play yet, but it's on my short list, called The Final Girl, A Game of Love. And it's, instead of about it being like slasher flick, it's more like The Bachelor, where like you're eliminating people until you get like the winner, at the end. So that's
Oh, that's very good.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah, that
But
sounds
anyways.
pretty great.
But yeah, there's a thing. Do you guys want to do roses and thorns? Not roses and thorns. Sorry, stars and wishes.
Sure.
What?
Do you want to hear of stars and wishes? So that some people do this thing called roses and thorns. At the end of the game, everyone goes in a circle and you give a rose, like something that was good, and a thorn, which is something that you didn't like so much. Some people aren't as into the roses and thorns, and a friend of mine created this thing called stars and wishes. So a star is either praising somebody else's thing, but I like to use star as just more like anything you really liked about the session, and then a wish is just more like, what would you like to see more of, either next time or in a game or, whatever. So yeah, does anybody do you want me to go first? So I can give an example.
Sure.
Yeah.
So star, I think star is just that, like I think you guys all brought some interesting stuff here, and specifically, like all of you are new to this specific game. I know, like it sounds like most of us have played some form, or a lot of us have played some form of like, kind of story scene framing game. But if you haven't, especially, like stars to you, because this is, it's a new little world, and I love this world. I will never leave it. Um, so stars for you guys bringing cool ideas. And my only wish is, yeah, maybe hope to, like, I know I'll see some of you guys again. I know Kurt, I'll see you over and over again. Andrew, occasionally when you come out to visit us here in LA.
I'll see you in September.
Yes. So we like, I know the three of us have gone to the Los Angeles convention, which is in Strategicon. Kurt is another LA local. Andrew, where are you?
Chicago.
So occasional visitor. But anyways, my wish is, if you want to play more games like this, I highly recommend joining the Gauntlet. Is an online community. You can find them on G Plus and whatever.
Do they have a Discord, or is it
They
mostly
do,
G+?
but the Discord is a paid, like you have to be a Patreon backer to get in their Slack and Discord. It's like special place. But they're going to have an online game convention in October called GauntletCon, and it's basically if you went and did that, they opened the Discord during that time. Is kind of like, it's almost like the hotel room, like the hotel lobby. Right,
Yeah.
so everyone can kind of chat in between games, and then you jump into your game, and the games run all weekend long, and it's these kind of games, right? So anyways, the Gauntlet RPG on G+, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. But I highly recommend them. The community is awesome. So that's me. I'll pass it. We'll go in order of the gaming order. So Andrew, you're next.
I think we had a lot of really great lines of dialogue. I think I taught English for 30 years. You always say it's a language.
Wait, sorry. You always say what? No. Is it me?
No, I lost him too.
Yeah, we lost him.
Andrew. Right at the end.
Come back to us.
Hello?
Okay.
Get back.
You're back.
Okay.
Say it again. You English. You did lots of English teaching, and then what?
The line, I've taught English for 30 years, you always say it's a language problem, is definitely my quote of the night. Like, yeah, that was early on, but like that was I had to mute myself. I laughed so hard at that. Because it was perfect. The perfect character beat. It was perfect in tone. I don't think that the setting hit as hard as it could have been. because I don't know Tibet. Like, would be very interested to play this at like a college campus or the woods or something else like that. But conceptually, I thought it was really great. I will throw this out there because I will always horror my own games. I'm probably going to be starting up a 3-session Blades in the Dark game at the end of July, early August. And you are all great, so you are all invited. I will probably be tossing that up on the Happy Jacks Discord, and I'll probably hit you up through Facebook, Tomes. But yeah, this was amazing.
Cool. Hyro.
So as someone who hardly plays RPGs, I always like playing with people who are very creative and very descriptive. So stars to you guys for that, because that's always a lot of fun when other people can fill in the talking and I just can just mute myself and be quiet over here. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. Belle.
I think stars for just consideration, at the table, a proverbial table. Having all that discussion and tools, I think that's it suits me to go into a game knowing that people do that, because you never know what you're gonna get playing with strangers. So stars to that. And wishes, yeah, I mean, I guess at some point it'll be nice to have another session of a game like this, like a small indie game. I love those.
I forgot to give you a star, by the way, for doing all the rules things that I would forget. Like, thanks for.
Yeah, I'm actually
that was great.
as far away from a rules lawyer as it gets, but
No, but that was
sometimes
perfect.
you gotta
because
remember
I
those stuff.
Yes. No, thanks. All right, Kurt.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there was so many like great little parts, like Tomes, your line, the in that scene with you always say it's a language issue, and just there were so many like great one-liners and great setups, and I want to commend everybody for being able to like get out of the way of the scene, basically, like let the scene happen and let everybody have their moment. I thought everybody did a really great job, like driving the scene forward without being in the driver's seat. So that was really awesome. And of course, my wish is to play more games with you guys. I know everybody else, but Belle, this is the first time playing with you, so this was awesome. I hope we can play more games together.
Where did you come from, Belle? Like, because I know you guys sourced a couple. So, like, Hyro and Belle, where did you guys come in from?
Cart published the game in a Discord server that I'm in. So I contacted him for that.
Which Discord server was that? Is that
no.
That was from RPG Talk, right?
Yes, RPG Talk.
Okay. What is RPG Talk?
It's a Discord server.
Okay.
It's quickly becoming my favorite Discord server because it's so much game design talk. There's a couple channels for game media and game production. So I get to sit there and lurk in game production and just listen to people talk about their problems trying to run Kickstarters and produce their games. As like someone who's trying to design games but hasn't produced anything yet, like it's so awesome to just sit in there and listen to everybody's problems. And
also they really push forward like small indie games and stuff like that. So you can find players for just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Hyro, where were you from? Mute.
Right. Always. I came from the Happy Jacks Discord server.
Okay. I'm in the Happy Jacks forums, but I don't think I almost never go into the Discord stuff. It's like it's a new tool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I gotta head out, but it was awesome meeting all y'all. And yeah, hopefully we'll talk soon. I might go check out the RPG talk thing, so I'll get in touch with you, Kurt.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Have a good trip, I guess.
Thanks. Yeah, I've got to finish packing, and then
Oh no.
shh, I already told the wife I packed, so
Oh
she's
yeah.
all right. See y'all.
Bye.